Welcome to the Untrapped Podcast, where we're motivated and inspired about success, small business, and personal development. And now, Keith Kalfas.
What's up, everybody? It's Keith Kalfas. We're live right now with Brian Fullerton. Man, it's so great to see you here. The spring is crack-lating, and we're talking about how to crush it in your lawn and landscaping business in 2023. So happy to have you here, Brian. Dude, what's up, bro? What are you eating, you said here?
I'm eating some Cold Stone ice cream, bro. We just had some family ice cream. We had a little celebration night, and all is good in the hood, bro. But you're saying it's crack-a-lacking. Hold on, I'm looking at my door wall. There ain't nothing happening out there, bro. There's no snow. And it's a frozen tundra. Don't lie to the people, man. There ain't nothing happening right now. I'm stir crazy.
Stir crazy, dude. Talk about this. The clouds parted today, and the sun was shining for a few hours.
Right.
Yeah,
it's the first 50-degree day we've had in, 3 weeks? And it's nice. And it's supposed to be a little bit warmer the next 2 days, which is awesome. But I'm hoping, like, this weekend, it's like a fork in the road, right? Like, is it going to be 50s and 60s, or is it going to be, like, 30s and basically not have a spring? Which, no, in Michigan, I'm not holding my breath. You know what I'm saying? So it's frustrating, brother.
Yeah, and we're in Michigan, so like the weather just goes like, get
There's
your
guys
hopes
right,
up.
There's guys right now in Cincinnati and Tennessee. They've got not only their first week of mowing in, but they've got like their second, third week of mowing in. They've got their cleanups in. I'm like, bro, like you just get antsy this time of year because all your buddies on IG, you know, they're all like mowing grass and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, we're in purgatory. And of course, you're like trying to get your contracts done and bids and all this stuff. Don't get me wrong, it's busy as hell. But you get antsy. You want to get out there and start producing work, you know?
Absolutely. So talk about real quick a spring checklist. I've been really thinking about this of how to anticipate as if it's all happening now because it's only a matter of weeks. What are some important things? And I also just put out a poll over the past hour here. Like, are you just getting started in your business? You haven't started yet. This is your first, second year. Have you been in business more than 3 or 5 years? Even let us know in the comments below. And Brian, talk about a spring checklist so you can be proactive and really crush it this year.
I mean, simple things off the top of my head, like have you got your mowers started, maybe fresh batteries, change the oil, change the hydro oil, check your deck belts. That's the kind of stuff we're doing right now. Also, I would say check out your trailers, get those serviced, like the axles, paint anything that you need to, get some gloss paint on there, clean everything up. What else? You can get your marketing ready to go. You know, it's a great time of year to get your postcards done, your yard signs printed up, maybe get an EDM campaign ready to go, or a business select campaign ready to go. Simple stuff like that. And of course, get your commercial contracts back. You know, you should be getting that stuff here done, at least in Michigan, at least by the end of this month. Anybody after that, they're dragging their feet big time. It's not uncommon for residential to like, you know, square up with you by the end of the month in the first 2 weeks in April, because they're kind of like here and now people. Like they don't work with you until like the season hits and they go, oh yeah, of course I was going to renew. You're like, dude, I've been trying to reach you since February 1st. So that's part of it. But I would say get all of your ducks in a row. Get your blades sharpened, get your tool order in, get your employee uniforms done. That's all like the important stuff to do, but it's not important stuff to do when you can be working and producing, right?
Dude, I remember, there was several years. For instance, this past year, so busy. By the time I had been on the horn with, you know, getting new uniforms ordered and all the embroidery and getting the guys' sizes. And so I know with the company I go with, I've accidentally ordered the wrong size because some different brands had different sizes. I've wasted a lot of money, bro. Like you get like a $400 or $500 order as a test. And then, so I had to physically go in and dude, it took me weeks just to actually get into the place where they do the embroidery and look at all the sizes and feel the products. And then it was like literally late fall, and I had boxes of uniform for me and the guys, and even a nice jacket for my wife. And but at least I got it
Took
for the
months.
spring.
It took months though. Took months. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't happen overnight. And also like updating your website. That's a huge one. Like Google My Business listing, your actual website, like getting a website, running your Facebook ads, or at least getting them in the queue. You know, I don't do a lot of that. We have a couple people that we rely on to help us with that. That's kind of above my pay grade. But like it's a good time to have those conversations now because again, like once the weather breaks, you should be in the field working, producing, you and your guys. Of course, let's be realistic, bro. You're trying to spin 10 plates all at once, no matter how well you get the machine oiled. But if you did 8 out of the 10 things we just suggested instead of like trying to do it in April and May, you won't pull all of your hair out, just some of your hair out. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, and I know one thing for me, we've done work for about 5,000 different customers, and so I've scrubbed down a list of, I think it's 780 people that I would want to continue to do business with.
wow.
And then from there, it keeps diminishing down. But it took me 4.5 hours to scrub through a client list manually, just all on a spreadsheet, and then go through, according to city and where, like, because I know all the clients, and then put that down and then do email blasts of what just depends on how many. If you want your deliverability rate to stay up, you might not want to do 10,000 emails at once, but we could do a few hundred at a time. And then we do a slide broadcast, which is like, it's called a voicemail bomb. We get all the customers, we make a pre-recorded voicemail. Hey, it's Keith with Kelfis Landscaping and Window Cleaning. The spring is here. I was looking and seeing that we've done some work for you in the past. So just calling to let you, this goes directly to their voicemail. It's called ringless voicemail. They don't even know that their phone, it didn't even ring. Oh, they got a voicemail. It just missed a call. And they think it's actually from you, but you really did this to 500 people. And it's called Sly Broadcast. And then I'll record it like 5 times, so it sounds really organic and natural. And then be careful. So what I'll do, like groups of 100, because one time I sent it to 1,000 people at once, and the phone was blowing up, and that was pissing people off. I've had like a couple customers, one in particular who understands the way that marketing works, and I don't know if he was a lawyer or what. He called me and told me off, dude. He was pissed. And so I'd scrub them off the list, and I think it's just like the risk you take. I don't mean to be disrespectful, but
Question for you: Do you still have the Greek guy? The Greek guy, he's like, do it.
I'll do it. No, wait, that'd be not Greek. So, yeah, I let that client go for. If those of you don't know what Brian's talking about, when I spoke at your Entrepreneur Academy, that was in 2019. I did the Know Your Worth talk, and I talked about. I had this client who was a billionaire. And it was very amazing because I got to ask him questions about wealth and business. My first couple years in, I get this crazy rich client who also took advantage of me. It was a game to him. And one day he was wearing this watch on his wrist that was filled with diamonds. I go, that watch looks really expensive. He's standing in front of his Ferrari and his Bentley. And I was like, he goes, well, how much do you think this watch cost? I go, I don't know. He takes it off his wrist and it's all heavy and I'm holding it. And I'm like, $6,000. More. 18 grand. More. 50 grand. He goes 185,000. I'm like, why would anybody buy a watch $185,000? He goes, because this is exclusive. You cannot get this watch. And he had another watch. It was like 500 grand. It was like, but I think the point and the moral was, So no matter what I asked this client, I had to be careful of what I noticed of what needed to be done on his massive property. Because no matter what I said, he would say, do it. And so I didn't know what a change order was. I didn't know how to negotiate. And I was burying myself in all this work. And one day I was so scared, I went up to him and I knocked on the door and he opens this huge door. Yes. And I go, please, man, can I please just charge you hourly? Because I didn't even know what the hell I was doing. He goes, okay, I did a $20,000 job and I made $1,400 off of it. It was enough to put a ring on my, saving up for a ring on my wife's finger.
That's awesome. Hey, really quick. We got, by the way, I love your storytelling. Like, it was a great speech at 2019 LAL, like still a classic, bro. Like I still listen to that talk. Really quick, Drew's property service, he said, what up, no? And then we have a guy in here that if we give him a shout out, we got to send him an invoice because B&B Lawn Care, he owes us $20 now for a shout out.
He's on here?
Yeah, he just jumped in and said, hey. And
what up, Blake? I asked you, I'm like, you want to do a live YouTube? Because with you, nah. Fogged his fingernails, walked off. Right. He's sitting there in a purple robe blowing bubbles with a pipe.
He's got stacks, bro. He doesn't need us. He's an OG YouTuber. There's the YouTube millions. That's B&B Lawn Care. The bank of B&B. Austin Douglas is in here. I don't know if he's still in here, but
Oh,
what's up,
ditch
Austin
the it,
Douglas?
bro.
Austin's awesome, man. He's a great dude, and his website's legit. Have you seen his new Poison Ivy course website?
Dude, he's so smart, bro.
Yeah, that's going to be a game changer for people looking for a mosquito and poison ivy resource, because he's like the go-to guy that I have that I know. He's local to us. He's both about an hour and a half away from both of us, which is pretty cool. So he's a local dude. We know him. We like him. He's been to a bunch of events. Excuse me, and it's just really cool to see what he's doing out there, changing the game there. But shout out to you, Austin, if you're still listening. P Landscape Ohio, maybe. What's up, dude? Brian Smale. And Drew's Property Service, man. But hey, really quick, like, thanks for having me on the show, by the way. Can I give a 10-second who I am in case people don't know?
Yeah, I thought about that. Go on.
I was like, I don't know if I'm a nobody, but we run a lawn care landscape business up in Wixom, Novi, Michigan. We've been doing this for 17 years, bro. And we have a small YouTube channel called Brian's Lawn Maintenance, and then IG, we're on the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast, but we're all about helping you guys grow a more successful lawn landscape business. That's the shtick. That's what we tell everybody, man. And that's the truth. We've been doing this for 6 years, I think now, which is wild. Maybe 6 or 7 years. And any which way, first 10 years, not so hot. Last 5 years, redoing everything. And it's been a good run. We're not a finished product, but any which way. Me and Keith, I bugged Keith. Well, I think Keith's my friend. I don't know if Keith thinks I'm his friend, but I remember, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Keith, but it was probably about 5 years ago at least. Well, maybe 6. I don't know, dude. It's been a minute. But I called you up one day. I remember it was like it was yesterday. It was a Wednesday or Thursday. And I was like, hey, bro, you don't know me. I do YouTube. I had 2,500 subs maybe. I don't know. And I said, hey, I know you do Saturday quotes. I live an hour from you. I don't want to be a weirdo, but can I come hang out with you for the day? And I said, call me back if so great. If not, no big deal. Bye. And I think an hour later, I see this 586 number from Sterling Heights, Michigan, which is another zip code, another city over. And I'm like, oh my God, it's Keith Kinkelfus. I have to take this. So I hit enter and I'm shaking and shit, and I'm like, you're like, what up, Doe? And I'm like, is this Keith Kalfas? You go, is this Brian Fullerton? And I'm like, yeah. And you're like, no, sir, how are you? And I'm like, so anyway, I don't know what said after that, but you invited me to come hang out with you. We spent the half day together. I think we did a landscape video, maybe.
Yeah.
We got some tacos or pizza or something like that after for lunch, and I don't know, the rest is history, bro. It's been you can't get rid of me, dude. I keep bugging you. So
yeah, and I appreciate it, man. I've learned a lot of stuff from you about strategy and about marketing. And then also we went along, we did that video. I did a video with you and we did a whole property quote. It's Keith and Brian Fullerton, and we go step by step around garden beds, and I talk about how to charge, what to charge, why to charge, and I break it all down, hourly, itemized, and then day, and then I just give all the pricing and everything.
It's a good video.
Just Keith Kelfus and Brian's Lawn Maintenance, how to quote, and then it should pop up. So there are some questions in here that I just want to do rapid fire.
Ice cream. So sorry if I'm eating my ice cream, guys. It's Cold Stone. It's like my jam. I love Cold Stone, so I'm not going to let that go to waste. But
I can share something.
Yeah. Somebody said I bought the whole ball of wax in Keith's courses too. You guys are awesome. That's I appreciate that, man. That's really, really kind. You don't have to buy something to be a friend, by the way. So, but I think that was Owen Geiger, and thanks for the love and support. Thanks for the love, bro. Appreciate that, man. How dare you eat ice cream on a live? Hey, man, if Keith doesn't like it, kick me off. You know what I mean? But it's cake batter ice cream, man. What's your guys' flavor of choice? Liz is a founder's favorite. Keith, do you ever do Cold Stone, or are you still on your health kick?
I have eaten Cold Stone ice cream. I got it down to Tuesday nights as my cheat night, where I can eat, cake, ice cream, candy, chocolate, whatever the heck, or carbs, or if I drink pop, it's only on Tuesdays. So I don't know. I'm in my late 30s, and I think I don't know, man. If I eat a bunch of junk food, I get all you get an insulin spike and then a carbo crash, and then
you gotta take a nap. That's the best part of winter, man. Eat some cake batter and go take a nap.
Yeah. Dude, check this out. You just came out with a new book. It's on Amazon. It's already crushing it.
Dude,
I
thank
didn't
you.
even plan this. It was literally sitting as I just picked it up. 0 to 100K. Brian Fullerton, The Complete Guide to a Successful Business. Oh, you got mine right there?
I've got yours in my desk, bro. Yours and Paul Jameson are my inspiration, bro. You kidding me? Like you guys have these are classics, bro. So hell yeah, I got your book. Are you kidding me, dude? And then your boy here's got I bought some author copies, man. So yeah, dude, I'm standing on the shoulders of giants, bro. Thank you.
Bro, when I recorded the audiobook for your first year in the landscaping business, my book that I released, I think it was year before last year, I was crying while recording that audiobook and like cussing and reliving the experiences of the fucking nightmare of getting a business off the ground and not knowing what you're doing and being terrified of insurance and workers' comp. And like, what if I got some part-time employees not on workers' comp? What if he cuts his finger open or something? And I told the story, like I hired a part-time guy and like he was just part-time. He just worked for me like a little bit. And the dude cut his hand and I was shitting bricks. Bro.
I remember the story. I remember hearing the story because you were like, he's like, dude, I need to go to the hospital. You're like, I'll pay you cash. I'll pay your bills. So you're like, that's
yeah, this happened
wild
a
stuff.
long time ago. But dude, I was so scared. That shit. I was on the phone with every business owner friend I know, and I was like, dude, I don't care what it costs. I need to get workers' comp. Nobody can ever work for me ever again unless they're on workers' comp. I don't care what it costs. Period. Because the fear when it actually happens, like, good thing nothing happened. He just got some stitches and the shit was fine. And I just paid him for a week. And then nobody can ever work for me ever again unless they sign 39 pages of documents.
Yeah.
And operating manual. They get a background check, a drug screen. They're going on workers' comp, payroll. I don't give a shit. And I raised the prices. And then you know what I realized?
If you are looking for the greatest software ever to run your business on, go to getjobber.com/Keith. You can create proposals, invoices, collect payments, and track your entire business directly on the Jobber smartphone app. If you want to get a totally free trial of Jobber right now, open your browser, type in getjobber.com/Keith, and after the trial, if you decide to sign up with Keith's link, you'll automatically get 20% off your first 6 months. So what are you waiting for? Go to getjobber.com/Keith.
It's not even like as expensive as I was terrified that it would be.
Cheaper to do it right, man. Hey, by the way, Joshua Sweeney, use Keith 10. Use Keith 10 for your equipment defender. We have a code too, but it's Keith's live, dude. Support him. Keith, is it Keith 10, right?
Oh yeah, promo code Keith. I'm not trying to.
Oh, he wants to save some money on some racks. He needs it anywhere. So
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I'm pumped, bro. The book is in. I don't have to be a whole hype thing about the book. Like, if you care, you care. If you don't care, you already turned off, right? But I can totally relate and empathize though with like crying. I was reading the acknowledgments and I legit was on the audiobook. I was bawling, dude. Like at the end, I was like sobbing because I was like, first off, it's like your story, bro. So it's like you remember all the pain, you know, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And when I'm going through that, I'm just like, dang, dude, you know, like that's wild stuff. And then the acknowledgments, I was thinking about all the people that helped me along the way. You, Stan, a couple other great guys, Paul, my friend Mike, and I was getting emotional, bro. You know, it's deep. So the audiobook will come out. I think ACX takes about 10 days. We actually submitted it today. Took some time to get the audiobook done because I have the outline reading capacity of a 2-year-old. That was brutal, bro. Like you think you're so good in your head sometimes, right? Like that's how I think when I read. But when what's up, PNH? When I was reading the book out loud, it took a lot of what do they call it? Like takes, you know? So in which way, it took a little longer to get the audiobook done. I'm hoping it'll be live maybe by the end of the month. I think it takes like 10, 12 days with ACX, but it'll be out here soon. You guys get the 0 to 100K book on Amazon. Thanks for the plug, bro. And we sold like 360 some copies already in like 10 days. So
good for you, man.
Wow. Yeah, I'm very, very thankful, bro. Like, and people reviewing it on Amazon. Like, I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful. Yeah, the audiobook is narrated by me. Somebody had a good question there, but yeah, it's about just under 2 hours for the audiobook, and then we got a couple bonus chapters in there, so it's like 3 hours all in. So yeah,
love it. You know, I was thinking while you're saying that, is when I said I was crying while recording my audiobook, is because I have this resentment for the first couple of years of getting my business off the ground when I could no longer park my truck and trailer at the 1-bedroom apartment we lived in, and I was parking it out in the street by a fire hydrant, getting tickets from the cops because I had nowhere else to park it. The neighbors getting pissed because there's oil stains everywhere from all my shit, and I couldn't find in the metropolis that we live in a place unless you're running a straight up commercial shop for like, $3-4 grand a month.
Yep.
And then I finally found a place at the recycling dump. They allow people to park and trucks and there's a bunch of landscapers there. And I finally got a place to park my shit. Then
Yeah.
I finally, we move out of the 1-bedroom apartment into a 2-bedroom, condo. And then all my shit gets broken into. And the thieves were hitting up all the trucks and trailers all the time. Broke all the locks and stole $4,200 worth of everything. All my 2-cycle, my trimmers, my backpack blowers, my chainsaws, my weed whips, my basically everything. My combi system, both my combi systems. And I show up in the morning to start work. All the locks are broken and all my shit's gone. And I was like, so it's like the stress you go through. And you got nobody that you can get advice from. And all I saw was these other prick landscapers who had been in the business for a long time, and they're fucking in their 2,500 truck, they're fucking shit, and their fucking stupid ass truck with their knobby tires and all their equipment. And I just wanted to be friends with them. And they would fucking, how they hit the gas in the truck, like the diesel, and they think they're the shit, and they ride people's asses, and they fucking do their fucking fuck them. I seriously. I hated these, and it's not because I was jealous of them. It was just motherfucker, I grew up, I'm cussing on YouTube, man.
That's great.
Poor as fuck with nothing. And all I was surrounded by was dead-end landscape jobs with a bunch of other broke lawn dudes that we're all making $12 an hour. And they're talking about where they're going to go and fucking party and what they're going to do and what they did this weekend. And I'm trying to get my business off the ground. And so I had a chip on my shoulder, bro. I was pissed.
There's some good questions coming in, bro, from Josh. He said, you need church.
I do
whatever, bro.
Right.
Yeah, no, you're going to get demonetized. Hey, if you and I survived the adpocalypse in 2016, people these days don't even know what demonetized is. You know what I mean? So who cares? Hey, that's the thing, though. You say what you want to say on YouTube, and if YouTube demonetizes you, who cares? That's why everybody call them a sellout, call them whatever you want. But that's why we have affiliate codes and a book and maybe some courses to help people out, because you got to fund the hobby and the message. And if you think you get rich with YouTube AdSense, it just doesn't work like that. Not for a long-term YouTube channel. Maybe some of the viral Momental Graphs video guys, but dude, nobody's here is making $1 million a year. Not even close, bro. So I'll tell you straight up, if you can use the Keith 10, or if Keith doesn't have a code and we do for something else, dude, thank God. Thank you for all the love and the help, man. Because that's the only thing that keeps the message coming, because I always tell people, you'll start YouTube. Everybody starts YouTube. A lot of people start YouTube. But to stick with YouTube, bro, it takes time. It takes money. It takes energy. I got these lights here and a microphone here and a webcam here. Just $1,200 in lights and cameras. It doesn't come for free. And it's people change my business, change my life. Dude, I'm so grateful to be a part of that, obviously. So it's just we reciprocate with each other, how we all grow together, Somebody had a question real quick. Where do you buy the books, Keith? They're on Amazon. I know yours is on Amazon, but type in your first year in business for the landscaping book, right? It's that is
it's funny.
Wow.
Okay, my first book wasn't written that great, the actual grammar, and I was writing it up all night after landscaping all day trying to make this shit happen. And but I tried my best, bro. We edited and re-edited, and I'd hired professional editors. And in my last 2 books, The Window Cleaning Blueprint, How to Make $500 a Day Cleaning Windows, in that book, your first year in the landscaping business. You look at all the positive reviews, and there's some people it looks like a fucking 3rd grader running. He's a fucking idiot. I wouldn't listen. Because I misspelled there or there, and it's and I'm up at 3:00 in the morning pacing around looking at the book, because I the work it took, dude. My book was denied 22 times by Amazon, and it took 4 straight months, and it probably cost me collectively around $10,000 to get the damn thing. And
Somebody said you're probably making bank. My AdSense check is less than what most people make in a month at their corporate job, dude. It was $2,500. So if you think we're making bank, That's for all the hours we put in. If you think that's a lot of money, you're on crack. I'll take it. I mean, but it's 6 years of grinding to make that for an AdSense check. Now, if you have like 10 million views a month, like some of the I don't want to give anybody's names and like embarrass them or like but not embarrass them, but like if you got these like startup, like not startup, but like the construction channels and like these guys that like are wrenching on stuff and they're pulling in 10, 20 million views a month. Yeah, you're going to make 10, 20, 50, 100 grand a month probably. Good for them. I mean, like get 20 million people watching your channel a month. You should, dude. Like that's insane, bro. My views are like 750,000. Like the subs are up, but the views are down. Anyway, it's just YouTube does not like Keith and I's type channels, like the how to. And that's like people that watch it, but like it's value content that just doesn't get promoted because they'd rather like channels be about drama or like controversy or like podcasting, like stupid stuff that doesn't matter. But that's okay. I don't care. Like it's not my mission, bro. My mission is not to make millions of dollars with YouTube. Like I still got my lawn landscape company. I enjoy what I do. I love what I do. So it's like it's a fun side hustle, man. But anyway, we talking about a bunch of stuff, man. Let's get back to the comments. Somebody said boring. Yeah, JJ, that is boring stuff. Amen, bro.
Hey, I want to share something real quick. Last year, I want to talk about very quickly and succinctly getting out of the field. And last year, I got out of the field and I got a crew out, and then I'm out doing sales and marketing and quotes, and got somebody to answer the phone and a bookkeeper. And so it's like I've finally not the guy climbing up and down the ladder, trimming the shrubs and pulling the weeds and doing the mulch unless I want to. And then now it got to the point, and what the process was, I was doing everything. Then I hired a right-hand man, and it was just me and him, or him and I, all the time, constantly. But then you're wearing all the other hats of you're doing the sales and the marketing and answering the phones, and literally, like, you got to shut off the mower to answer the phone, or you literally have to turn off the combi system while trimming to answer the phone, because if you don't, they're going to go to the next person on Google. So you have to have customer service first, people first, things second. And I knew that inherently. And if I come home, I leave my phone in my truck for like 15 minutes or even like an hour, I would go in the house, take a shower, boom, sit down at the dinner table with my wife, and then hang out with her for a little bit and pet my dogs, and then go out to the truck and get my phone. It was the only way that I wasn't going to be on my phone at the dinner table, is that I leave in the truck. But then I would be up until 11 o'clock at night, midnight, working on the business and stressing out and doing the marketing. And then I would sit down until 9:30 at night, calling back all these customers or doing it in the truck. Then I got to this point where I was like, I have to hire another guy. So I got 2 guys in the field, and I'm just going to sit in the truck a lot more and just do it all. So I'm not doing it at home. So I sit in the truck. And then I got to the point where I was like, I felt like this weird anxiety gap. Like, what are my workers going to think that Keith is just sitting in the truck all day or driving around, or like I'm not working? And I couldn't get over the fact that, of course, like I'm their boss and I'm paying them to do a job, but I still felt weird and guilty. I had these boundary issues that I had to get coaching on. And it wasn't until I finally got, like, I realized that, like, if I'm not constantly selling jobs and taking care of customers, and there's not constantly production being done. I learned from my friend Brandon Vaughn, there's 4 pillars. There's MAPS, marketing, administration, production, and sales. There's the marketing department. Even if you got a tiny little business and you understand these pillars, it'll help you tremendously. There's the marketing. You got to keep the leads generating and coming in, the deal flow. The administration is dealing with and managing the customers internally, make sure your accounts receivable and payable, your bills are getting paid. You're doing the invoicing and billing the customers on time. Make sure you're collecting money, not letting that too far away. You're managing the insurance and dealing with insurance companies and the administrative side of the business. And then the production and the labor is getting all the work actually done so you can bill the clients, get the shit done. And then sales. Nothing gets done, and sales solve all problems. So I was like, you're pulled in so many different directions physically and emotionally with your time. What, is something on the tip of your tongue? You want to?
No, I'm listening. I can just relate, bro. It's like you're spinning 5 plates and it's never a dull moment.
Yeah, you can do it all. But after about, I don't know, anybody, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years of this shit, my friend Joshua Latimer is a coach. He's coached over like 1,500 businesses personally.
He's a good
from
dude.
startup to multi-millions. And the truth is, behind closed doors, some of these people that run $1 million businesses are breaking down, crying. Their families are falling apart, and they're stressed the bug out. And some of them aren't at all. It just depends on how like what you're comfortable with handling and stuff. Like, so what I was gonna say is you're doing it all at once. Oh yeah, you do it all, but there's only a matter of time before you start to burn out and you hit a brick wall over and over where you start to realize that, oh my God, if I don't raise prices and I don't find a way to hire somebody to help me or somebody. So you make two choices. You're either going to have someone help you take over administrative, somebody in the office that answers the phones and does the scheduling and the invoicing and the billing, while you can just hammer it out in the field, which is great, or you're going to have to back off the field and maybe your truck is your new office and you do all the administrative and you need to hire a worker or a guy who is a driver who can get out and do the stuff that you did and make sure the jobs are getting banged out and done. Like it can't be like a flimsy guy who works for you who just wants to show up and get paid and leave. He has to be somebody that you pay more. And then you say, how the hell am I going to afford this? So you start raising the prices and you're afraid because you lose the customers. But like,
Right.
then you get better at, sales and marketing. And at some point you have to take a calculated risk. And I call it like a split test. You say, all right, all new clients, you have to get to that point where you've hit rock bottom and you're so frustrated. You go, that's it. I don't give a fuck if I die. I don't care if this whole business gets shut down. I'll fucking leave and go do something else. I'm done. And when you hit that point, that's something about that courage and that confidence. Like they can, I don't know, it's something with the etheric universe, bro. It actually works. But it doesn't work if you're half-assing it and you're lukewarm. You have to get to that place where you're willing to lose it all. And so for me, it took forever to keep kind of getting to that place. I'm nowhere where I want to be. I'm learning. I'm a student. But it was last fall. I was driving. Like when you do landscaping, you always got a full dump trailer or a full truck. You got to go to the dump and dump the grass, the leaves, all the shit. If it wasn't me going to the dump, the shit wasn't getting dumped. If it wasn't me doing XYZ, it wasn't getting done. And I had gotten the phones off my back.
You gotta like pick at me. It's like back in school days, you know what I'm saying? But like, where did you find your right hand guy or your best help?
There you go. Okay, the one guy who worked for me forever, he was not the greatest. And I gave him a lot of chances. And he
Hold
was.
on, one sec. Just really quick to JJ that's on the live stream. You get more honey or more flies with an ounce of honey than a gallon of gall. So if you're gonna ask
vinegar.
questions, vinegar. Yeah, if you're gonna ask questions, maybe don't be rude. Let's just start there really quick. It's a live stream, but it doesn't give you permission to be an asshole. Okay, so it's not a therapy session. Keith is trying to help you, so maybe be appreciative of that. Okay, so we'll answer your question here, bro, but you don't just get to yell and then demand that people answer your question. Like, we're people too, bro. We have feelings. So Keith's answering your question, okay?
I'm very interested in transformation. People don't sometimes care about until they understand that you can relate to their struggle. Like my favorite thing is when I meet somebody who is maybe they're doing something that I want to learn, and then they talk about how hard the shit was, and I go, you're not like I love it.
Breakthrough. Looking
relating
for
to people's struggles.
Yeah.
So this point was I'm driving home from the dump. And I always listen to classic rocks like Phil Collins in the Air in the Night, and I'm waiting for the drum roll. And my thumb is on the steering wheel. And you know how like you think you're done? You ain't really fucking done. You think you've hit rock bottom, you're just bullshitting yourself. And that's what I talked about Joshua Latimer 5 minutes ago. He was on the phone with a guy who had been in business for 8 years. And the guy like tears in his eyes on the phone. He's like, dude, I cannot do this anymore. I feel like whatever. Expletive, you could say, I feel like a loser or anything. I can't do this anymore. And Josh goes, get the hell out of here. You could go on like this for 10 more years. Do you know how resilient and strong a human being and like you got a family to be? You could just keep suffering and spinning your wheels, or you can execute. And the key word is pivot. You gotta people think in black and white. You pivot. And so I was like, that's the last time I'm shutting this business down. I was dead serious because I sank in my seat that day driving home from the dump, and now I knew I was dead inside. It was the same feeling that I got that made me actually start the business. And then I just started posting on Indeed.com, Facebook, and posting around that I'm looking for a crew leader, hands down, and this is what it's going to be. And
here, let me interrupt because I think that's a good answer. But somebody said, Keith, what did you even do? So you found him on Indeed. Is that from Andrew Martinez? Is that Andrew
So
Martinez from
I put
Texas?
feelers out, like how to hire. You can go on ZipRecruiter, Indeed. I'm sorry, Indeed is what I used before. This time I use ZipRecruiter. So I just throw like $15 a day on there. It costs an average of $1,000 to hire an employee, and it costs an average of $5,000 for each employee that comes into your business in turnover. So if you got a revolving door and it's all legit, it costs you about $5,000 per employee, and I found that to be true. But I literally put it on Facebook. My wife posted on her Facebook. I put on ZipRecruiter, and then I put the word out, and then I just started getting inquiries and emails, and then I just talk to people through email. Then I talk to them in a phone interview. Then we do an in-person interview, and there's one guy who made it all the way through, and then yeah,
That's good.
I hired him.
Okay, sorry. I'm gonna. Somebody said I'm gonna keep you on task. So I said, fine. Yeah, I'm on my desktop too. So you guys ask the questions, and I'll get them to Keith, because Keith's like,
All right, I'm done here.
no. You're good, bro. But I've had like somebody asked like the same question 3 times. I'm like, oh yeah, I got you. I'll ask Keith. JJ said, who was being a butt earlier, but Jay, I'm just having some fun. Relax. We're all friends. He said Keith never shows that he makes $100K a year. I've seen your returns. I've seen everything that you're putting together. You and I compare notes all the time. Like we both were broke losers a decade ago. Like, well, we weren't losers. We just weren't winning, which I guess defaultly makes you a loser. But anyway, you and I talk and compare numbers all the time because we're both trying to grow. We're both trying to hustle, man. So, but yes, I can verify Keith is the real deal. He has a real truck. He makes good money. I don't know if good money is the right way to say that, but I think that's good money. Like I love to make $100,000 a year. Like that's living like the 1%, bro. All right, Keith, really quick. Where did you get your hats? Where'd you get your hats?
I used to get the hats and embroidery and everything from a place called EA Graphics. All the old videos, they do phenomenal work. But it seemed to me, since I was putting in small orders, because they do like whole sports teams and shit, like I could not get the customer service, or maybe it took me like a year. So I jump ship. They might be fine now. I mean, but now I use All American Screen Printing. This is out of Michigan. They'll ship all over the country. And then I've been looking at Chance Daily Hustle, Chance Singh Bomsa, and he does that stuff too. He actually is there.
Yeah, mine are from Chant. So I don't know what I pay for a hat. I just get like 10 new ones every spring because we just go through them. You guys gonna get like the gross sweatband, obviously, and so they don't last more than 2-3 months. No hat does. So ready for another question? Somebody said I make $2K a month, but not. It's easier to read them on desktop straight up than the phone because they disappear on the phone. Are you noticing this? Like that's weird. But somebody said I make $2K a month. I'm not insured or licensed. When should I get licensed and insured? You still there?
You can answer it.
Oh, I mean, as soon as you can. I mean, for crying out loud, I don't care if you have a side hustle doing $1,000-$2,000 a week, man. You should get liability insurance. Is low end $300 a year. Most people $1,000 to $2,500 done right. So it's nothing to have peace of mind. And then commercial auto, same thing. It's about $1,000-$1,200 a year for most vehicles. Maybe a little bit more if you got a bad rep. If you get T-boned and you're not licensed and insured and commercially insured, then they're going to deny that claim. You're going to be out of your family's vehicle and your workhorse. So it's not any different from a personal policy to a commercial policy. Typically, it's cheaper, is what I've come to find. So I would get that done as fast as possible. Helps out. Alvin, Chica, Keith, and Brian, please answer my question. I don't think I saw your question, Alvin, but if you ask it again, we will get back to you. And I will ask Keith.
I did see him. I know Alvin. He's cool. I know I like almost everybody on here. I see all your comments and I see you.
Yeah, you can't get in commercial without being licensed. Yeah, that's true. You have to. Typically, I don't show my business license. Most of them want your certificate of insurance, your COI. And then
Andrew
they want to
Martinez,
be
Douglas
Andrew
Long Hair.
He's awesome. Yeah, sorry, we've just been on ranting. So there's 127 of y'all in here, which is wild, man. Like that's a good poll, dude. So, but there's only 32 likes. Can I plead with you guys to hit the thumbs up?
Hit the thumbs up button now.
I'm not
Juan
above
Matos,
begging.
Daryl Ward, Andrew Martinez, Raul.
Yeah, I'm not above begging, right? No, I'm just kidding. I'm sure it does something for the algorithm, but I don't really focus on that. Who cares? All right. Cutting force. Nobody knows me. All right. If you guys got questions, leave them down in the comments. We're now back more attentive. Keith was, I think JJ said, having a therapy session. That's okay.
Yeah, there's
I
a
like,
percentage of people that are like, what is this guy complaining? And then there's a other percentage who are like, oh my God, that's what I want somebody to talk about this.
yeah, no, I
So
hear you.
that's what
It's
I do.
like,
You think I'm not aware of that? Like it's a vulnerable place to talk in that way. And I do it intentionally.
yep, yep. Here, this is maybe a low hanging fruit: cash or finance. What's your thoughts on that?
Talking to me? You? What are
Yeah,
we?
it's a question. No, it's a question. Somebody said you want to do you buy things cash or finance?
I'm a no
Landscaping.
debt guy. Well, I do. I lease my truck and I still owe on my house, but I don't have any debt besides for that. And I pay for everything else cash. And then since the leasing is going up, I'm going to buy a truck this next time. And I'm thinking about buying it cash or putting more than half down. And I just want to be out of it. I don't want any more payments on anything. And then yeah, but with equipment and all that stuff, I don't make any major purchases, but you just walk in a
Yeah.
Weingart, just buy it.
Well,
I'll put it on the company credit card. So you constantly have a revolving line of company credit. So I do put everything on credit, but I pay it all off in 30 days.
Sure, sure. Yeah, yeah. I mean, like at the end of the day, if you got cash, you can pay cash. I'd rather keep your cash and take advantage of 0%. I always put 20% down on our vehicles. That way, when I drive them off the lot and they depreciate 10 to 20%, God forbid something came up, I could always sell that asset, not be stuck underneath it, quote unquote. And that way I'm able to get out from underneath it. God forbid anything happened, So other than that, I'm use anything between 0 and 4%. That's cheap. It's cheap free money. So I'm not worried about it. That's a healthy rate. Keith wants to be an influencer, not a landscaper. Well, I don't know. I think he's a pretty good landscaper. He's only done work for 5,000 clients. How many customers have you taken care of, Gabriel? It's just weird. Like people think they can just say anything on the internet without ramifications. That's adorable.
I know we
All
run
right.
a 5-star agency. We got 200 and something positive 5-star reviews on Google and hundreds of
Hey man,
clients.
if everybody thinks that being an influencer was so easy, go do it. And we're not influencers. Like influencers like Casey Neistat and Peter McKinnon. Keith and I are just talking landscaping, bro. Like nobody here is trying to be if that was the case, we wouldn't be in the field 50 hours a week still in the summer. All right, let's keep going. LLC or S Corp. So you want to answer this one? You want me to? I got it.
Go for it.
So really quickly, LLC versus an S Corp, here's how it works is it's one is the entity, one is how the entity is taxed. Very, very simple. So anybody who says like LLC, S Corp, like it's actually two different things. 99% chance you're going to want to be an LLC. Number two, after about 100K in revenue, you're going to want to be taxed as an S Corp, which there's a couple qualifications there. You'll want to put yourself on salary. You'll probably want to do distributions at least semi-annually. You'll want to get a good game plan with a CPA to help out with that. But what you're going to do is reduce your payroll taxes because of distributions, but you still need to give yourself a reasonable salary, i.e. $25,000 to probably $50,000 a year is a good starting point. And the qualification for that is what do you need to pay your bills as a living wage? So if you just rely on distributions to shore things up, you're circumventing what you should have on salary. So if your family needs 70 grand a year to live, your salary should be about 70 grand a year. And distributions is the extra credit, which will save you because you don't have to pay, I think it's payroll tax, if I'm not mistaken, or what is it, federal or FICA or all that mess. So distributions are the way to go. So any which way, LLC, taxes, and S Corp, super simple. All right, let's see what else we got. Let's see what other questions we got. So this is season 9. I'm finally going to hit my first 100K. Please give me some advice. That's from Alvin. That was his question. What's up?
Congratulations.
That is huge, man. 100K is a huge benchmark. Like, congratulations to that. That's awesome. All right. Self-employment tax and sales tax. Yeah, self-employment tax, correct. Sales tax, we had that question earlier. If you buy mulch and you install it, you have to charge the customer sales tax. Do not get behind on sales tax. That's a really important one. More people go bankrupt for not paying their taxes, and typically it's sales tax. That's why a lot of people don't make it in business, is not paying their taxes. For crying out loud, pay your taxes first before you go buy anything stupid, okay? Vaughn Smith, I left a question above. I'm trying to see them all, dude. We got a lot going on. Your distributions should be your gravy, not something to count on. Correct. Exactly. Well said, dude. The trolls are everywhere. Yeah, I like the trolls, man. The trolls keep me sharp, and I don't mind answering questions. Like, dude, I'm an open book. We got nothing to hide. Are you going to step into a 250, Keith? Somebody was saying, are you going to step into a big dog truck or what?
I thought about it a lot. I was at the dealership recently. I looked at it. I sat inside of it, walked around it, and every single time I crunch it, the numbers and the weight that I need for my business, the only actual reason I would buy it or need a 250 is for my ego. I don't need it for my business. And I was like, oh,
Sure.
but I want to get it because my ego wants it. And I'm like, but I don't need it. And I don't need the extra expenses. And I still want to get it, even though I know that's true. And I might still get it, but I don't need it for my business. I've got the 4x4 package, the V8 5.0 F-150 with it's got the extended tow package. It's all upgraded and the shit is fine.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
But you're also
your
pulling
setup
like
is
a
clean.
24-foot box trailer loaded with mowers. If you're pulling that shit, you definitely need a 250. But dude,
Yeah.
we did lawn care with a Ram 1500 2000. Wait, this was a 98 Ram, bro. 24-foot box trailer, 98 Ram. We just beefed up the upper and lower control arms and the shocks and struts. We just put everything heavy duty ball joints and fucking right down the fucking road. 24-foot box trailer loaded, even with we had broken mowers in the front, just sitting there all season, needed to be worked on. We didn't even care, and it worked. 1500 probably wasn't the best idea.
Yeah, unless you're like plowing snow or hauling heavy, or a heavy enclosed trailer, you don't need the crazy truck. An F-150, actually, a lot of guys pull with F-150s down south. Nothing wrong with that, bro. Or a
Dude, I
2x.
plowed with the F-150 for 4 years.
Yeah, it's not ideal.
Beat the piss out of it. We wasted
Yeah.
the front on that truck.
It's not going to last long term, that's for sure. Somebody said, what do you do when you have to use the restroom on a landscape site? What do you do if you have to use the restroom? I'm probably assuming they have to do number two because number one's not that big of a deal. What do you guys do? You guys go to the gas station, or do you have an on-site porta potty? You still there?
You asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking you, bro. What do you do? What do you guys all do? Trash bags? Somebody said, but what do you guys do, Keith?
I just would never answer that on social media.
Looking to maximize your production in the field? Ballard Products has over 300 products that can help you get the most out of your efforts every day. Ballard Products. Whether you are looking to get a better cut, keep your gear on your machine, keep your expensive equipment clean and safe, or just get the most out of your machines, Ballard has you covered. Ballard Products. Jump onto our easy-to-use updated website at ballard-inc.com to get your gear ordered today. Keep grinding. Stay safe. And have a great season. Ballard. Make sure to use the code Keith10 to save 10% on our full line of gear. That's Keith10.
I mean, don't give away the farm, bro, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't know. I don't have to do number two at work. It's not an option. So, and if anybody else has to go, they can just go on lunch or just go find a Jimmy John's or go. I don't care.
people said buried in a hole, trash bags, 5-gallon bucket. I think I'm guilty of all the above. In the woods, been there, done that. It's your life. I'm not gonna mess this one up, but I've literally went in the woods. I literally had to you like somebody takes like a knife to your stomach and you know it's like game over and you're like getting the hot sweats and you got like seconds, maybe a minute, and you're like, ain't gonna work. I literally remember doing this HOA. I was mowing like 5 acres, bro, and I was like halfway. I'm like in the middle of like the 7-acre soccer field or something, right? And I'm like, this is not going well. And I literally beeline to the woods, bro. I'm not proud to say it. And I got no shame, bro. Like, what do you want me to say? Like, that's real life. But the worst though, here's too much. Here's TMI. The worst though is when you have the bottle with a unique liquid in it, and the wife gets in the truck, and she's like, "You need to throw that out right now." And I'm like, "Yo, don't open that. Don't touch that." She's like, "Get it out." And yeah, that's probably TMI. But all right, what's up, everybody? How we all doing? The redneck kid. I think we probably just lost 50 people on your live stream. So there's that's good stuff. Just simply will not answer about the electric stuff. What's the question in the lawn review? I don't know what your question was. Sorry. There's 150 people in the chat. We're doing our best to answer the questions. Oh, and he said, would it be worth switching to an LLC since I'm a DBA now? Yes. A DBA means you're a sole proprietor and you're liable for anything that your company does, good, bad, or ugly. If you're an LLC, you have an extra layer of protection. The company's the entity. You're not the entity anymore. It's separated. So spend the extra 500 to $1,000. Use a local lawyer. Don't use a expediting service or something that can zoom you along on the internet. Don't use that stuff. Use a local lawyer, and they will help you create an LLC, file the correct paperwork, and you will be good to go. That would be my suggestion. There's not really a revenue goal for that, by the way. You can do that right out of the gate. It is an expense, but it is one that you absolutely should invest in my humble opinion. Keith, really quick, are you worried about the legislation? I'm like taking over your live stream. I just did a live stream for an hour, so I'm like
awesome.
in this mode.
Yeah.
I'm like just like cracked out mode right now because I'm like all hopped up on food and sugar. So, what do you think about the electric stuff, man? What do you guys think about the electric stuff? Wait, answer in the comments. But the lawn review. Are you worried about legislation pushing the electric equipment when y'all have gas? What's your thoughts on the electric stuff, bro?
Some of the shit that I can't control, if it happens, and I'll just go all electric. I'm not gonna hem and haw. I would just do it. Now, here's what I think part of the argument is some of these people that are pushing the legislation don't understand that you need the power of 2-cycle on certain things. Let's say if my friend William, the tree guy that I put in my videos, he specifically has that really nice steel electric saw. And this thing's a beast, bro, and it's electric. But at the same time, he's not buying your average, like even high-level steel saw from Weingart's. He's ordering the top of the line, like it's a full-size chainsaw compressed down to a top handle saw. So when he's in a tree and he needs to get through the meat fast, like he's got a crane picking up a branch over a house and he needs to get through it at the perfect speed and do like, it would be, from what I'm researching and hearing, getting reported, it would be actually dangerous to go all electric in some scenarios for people that don't understand. That's why certain people in the green industry are getting upset or pissed off because, it just makes perfect sense.
Yeah. I look, I'm not opposed to electric. I think every single person has something electric on their trailer these days, right? Like a chainsaw, a hedge trimmer, leaf blower, battery powered sprayer. People leave that one out all the time. I just think it's a hard pill to swallow. Somebody trying to tell me to go from a 13 grand X Mark Vertex to a $26,000 battery stand on. It's just not practical. And to get 6 hours of runtime. I have a Tesla. It charges slow as hell. It's fine. It's a novelty though. It's fun. It's cool. It's an awesome car, but you can't mandate transition. If things were good, capitalism and the free market will expose it for what it is. So if it was so awesome, we would all be adopting it. We wouldn't have to be convinced, right? Like, so when so many mandates change, usually there's an agenda there. We just call a spade. And I've never seen change doesn't typically come from the top down. It comes from the bottom up. That's just kind of my 2 cents. Yeah, somebody said an impact wrench. That's a great example. So I'm not opposed to it, but the battery tech is just not there for the big stuff. Leaf blowers and mowers. One day, maybe in a decade, I'm sure. All right, really quick. Let's go to lawn review. If you got a comment, man, leave it. I'd love to hear your response to all that too. Jay Rolex, really quick, help us. He said, how do you transition from solo to having an employee without going crazy? That one's
you got to take a calculated risk. You got to roll the dice. You got to go look for somebody and say part-time and then try it out. And if they work out, full-time. So say, hey, we'll do a 1-day test. Like you interview them and have them show up and see how they work and don't make any promises. What you're doing is you're making disclaimers in advance. You want to do it verbally and contractually. And so you have tacit agreement, verbal, and you have a contractual agreement that says, hey, come and work for a day. If it works, then work for a week. And then at the end of that week, if I see and we vibe, and I'll offer you a job, which means you have to have a job offer letter, and you want to actually offer them a job, position with a job description, and then have them fill out a job application, and then you would bring them on part-time with a 90-day trial. And then after that, then you'd offer them a full-time position, and you would outline all of that very correctly so it's not just implied, it's expressed. So you always give yourself lowering the liability as you being the business owner, a kind of like a backdoor or a way to let them know that they're an at-will employee. You can let them go at any time that you see fit for any reason because it's your business. And as soon as they clock into your business, they're under, obviously, what I'm saying is, I don't want to use the word jurisdiction, but they're under your rules, right? And you make that super clear up front. Now, like when I first started hiring people, I was scared shitless, bro. I was just like putting ads on Craigslist, and I hired a guy named Corey. Corey hopped in the truck with his fucking lunch and the Blue Goose next to me, rust all over the truck. I was embarrassed. I was like, tools all behind us. It was a handshake, and he just started working. You know, like 2 weeks later, we're like putting these trees through this shitty. I got this little chipper off Craigslist. It was like a Craftsman pull start, and I put it on the back of the bumper of the truck. And we were trimming all these trees with poison ivy all over them. And Corey just started work for me, and this motherfucker was covered in red boiling blisters all over his body and all over his neck. He came to work the next day like this. Dude, it was like, I was like, oh, shit. I'll pay your medical bills. I'll do anything. So I meet him anyways, he got some Benadryl and that shit cleared up. But
that's awesome. Dude, you get a guy that has like a bee sting or poison ivy, you feel awful, you know, but dude, it happens, man. It happens. And
you got to take a risk, man. Just do it. And I felt I didn't have my shit together at all in the beginning. I was running scared trying to pay my bills in. So when I hired people, I was scared that they would see right through and see that I was scared. And I would try to hide and shit, be all serious in the truck. And then, you honestly, get in where you fit in.
Yeah, honestly, it's the best policy, bro. Like, it's okay to hire somebody and go, hey, man, like, I don't have, that's my cat. I don't have tons of hours or tons of ideas yet for like what I can do for you, but I need help. And I need you to get in where you fit in, right? And until you have like defined roles for what you're looking for in the beginning, you're just trying to get this rocket off the ground. And here's a quick tip, like more production is better than less production. Not here to blow anybody's mind, right?
I purposely hired low paid numbnuts because I couldn't afford to pay them because I knew that that's all that I was going to get. I was like, yeah, starting pay is $65,000 with 401k and benefits. And then they hop in the truck. No,
employees are not cheap. They're free. If you understand employees, they're free. But at the same time, it is a commitment. And I take it pretty serious when I hire somebody on because I don't want them to mess with their livelihood. They're planning meals and rent and daycare based on what I'm paying them. So I treat it with a lot of seriousness. Like, I hate letting people go. We really try not to do that. But you got to just jump in with your big toe, hire your first person. They may or may not work out. Give yourself some grace. No enemies, right? Just say, hey, man, I suck at this. I'm sorry. I got to let you go.
You know the reason employees make you money? They don't cost you money. They make you money. Every late summer, I don't know, actually midsummer, August, September, I go through my late summer depression. It's when you've been working, all you're doing is working constantly. You haven't gone on a vacation. You have no life. And all you've been doing is landscaping and lawn care. And it's one morning you wake up and you've heard about all these people who've done all this fun shit and gone to the beach and you go, fuck this, bro. And if it wasn't for employees, I wouldn't have not been able to get myself out of bed all those mornings because they're going to be here. And dude, so many times I've literally gotten out of bed just in time to come out my fucking, and they know I just woke up or wherever we'd meet because we've had different places where we'd meet. I've had them show up to my house or to the job site. And if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have got to the job site till like 10 a.m. because I was straight up depressed. So they drive you because there's hell and a repercussion to pay. Because if they're sitting around waiting, bro, I'm going to pay them on the clock if they're sitting around waiting. So I make sure they're not waiting.
You ever have the deal where like the guy's late, like, half hour, and you're like, do I yell at him or not? Whatever, we'll figure it out. And then you're like, hey, just so you know, bro, like you got to get on time. Like this is not working out. Then the next day, you sleep in an hour or two. And you're,
an hour or two?
Oh, dude, like I was an hour behind, bro. Like you ever wake up and you realize like the sun is like at a different angle in the bedroom? I remember literally, I talked to an employee once and I was like, dude, you got to get here at 7:30, bro. Like that's when we start. And Swear to God, the next day I had slept in like longer than what he was late, like by an hour. And I call him, I'm like, hey, bro, like I slept in on accident, bro. I'm sorry. My alarm must have went off. I didn't hear it. And I was like, that's why I'm always like so graceful and empathetic. Like, you can't let people walk over you, but like, anyway, bro, anybody else ever do that before? Like, yell at your employee for being late and then you're late the next day? Like, not good leadership, bro. All right. Hey, I got like, let's do one more and then I am probably going to tap out for the night, man. It's been a long day. I'm exhausted.
Let's do it. And for anybody who missed this, I'm going to take this episode. If the quality's good enough, in a couple weeks, it'll be up on the Untrapped podcast. So you can just listen to it while you work.
Ooh. Hey, can I plug the book? Can I drop a link in the description, bro? Hey, if you will check out the new book. I just want to say thank you guys for buying the book, man. Everybody that's been showing love, man. That's super cool. I appreciate it. All right, we got one last question, like drum roll. I can't tell you how many times I refer back to your marketing videos, Keith. That's awesome. How many hours of sleep do you get a night? It's not enough, man. That's a fact. Look at these dark circles. It's in the winter. If I'm not sleeping in the winter, imagine how it is in the summer. All right, who's got the final last question? Are you guys getting a bunch of scams from Google saying that you need to verify your Google account? Yeah, some of those have been coming in, man. Don't work with any of that stuff. Plug Keith's book at the top. Somebody said pin your book, Keith.
In my book.
Hit it. I learned that on the live stream 2 minutes ago. April was there. I just learned that was a thing. All right, last question here. Here, I'm going to wrap up with the last question selfishly, Keith. What is your favorite Cold Stone flavor ice cream?
Who are you asking this to? Me?
You, bro. Yeah, you. I mean,
I did go there once and I tried. It was like a black Michigan cherry or Traverse City cherry or something like that. And I was like, that's going to sound, just try it. And I tried the shit, was delicious.
What's your mix in? If you have to mix in, all you guys can comment really quick. This is how we end because we're super serious business people. But what's your guys' mix in? If you guys go to Cold Stone, what's your mix in flavor? And if you want to leave a hater comment somewhere on Facebook saying, Brian and Keith suck, all they do is talk about ice cream. Okay, we do. But what's your mix in, Keith? If you had to mix something in, what's your mix in? Anybody got something like that? I'm a gummy bears person. Rocky Road. Liz is peanut butter, Reese's peanut butter cups, and we do like a Heath bar, you know?
I think coffee flavored ice cream is good for some reasons.
Liz loves coffee flavored ice cream, bro. Straight up. I don't understand that. That's wild. Like, doesn't it keep you up?
Maybe.
chocolate chip.
You said the MailChimp campaign and no one received it with an iPhone? That's interesting. Dig into that. Type that in Google, go in the forums and find out and get to the bottom of it. All right. I know you got to jump off.
I think somebody gave you a $100 super chat, bro.
That's insane. Thank you. I want to see who that was. Okay, thank you.
Joe K.
Do you guys recommend getting Google ads? Yeah, learn everything. There's literally a book on Kindle about how to do Google ads and get the 80-20 rule by Perry Marshall. The 80-20 of sales and marketing by Perry Marshall. Also listen to it on audible.com. He'll run you all through Google ads. And then I have a Google ad specialist on upwork.com. I pay him $75 an hour now. He's running my entire Google ads campaign for me. I pay him and I pay the shit. And now I just can get updates from him on what's going on. Because if you're trying to do all that and run your Facebook and Google ads, you're going to pull your hair out and you're going to piss away money that you could have just invested in having someone else do it. Build your team. And yes, Google ads for sure. 80-20 rule.
Sweet.
All right, later, bro.
Shit. I'm out, man.
Joe K. Thank you, sir. Joe K.
Yeah. That's really thoughtful. Thank you for the super chat. Keith, you're splitting that right halfway. I'm trying to build a house, bro. No, I'm just kidding. God bless you guys. I'm out, man. Thank you so much for the time, Keith, as always.
Thank you, Brian. Take care. And thanks, guys.
See you guys. Bye.
But he's gone. That's awesome, guys. I'm going to stay and hang out for a couple more minutes. I really appreciate you. I've learned a lot of shit from Brian, by the way. I've called Brian stressed out 10 o'clock at night. And he is the real fucking dude. He really, really is, man. My heck. All right, let me keep going here. 2023 Equip Expo. I'll see you there. I'll be there in Louisville, Kentucky. For those of you who don't know what it is, every year in Louisville, Kentucky, right around October 18th to the 20th, there's the biggest lawn and landscape event exposition in the country. We're literally booking our hotel tickets tonight or tomorrow night months in advance because like 40,000 people go there. The next live will be soon because I'm going to be doing a lot more lives now. And I'm having Blake on here from B&B Lawn Care Rookie. We're trying to get Paul Jameson on. We're getting Chauncey Stilly Hustle on, and we're getting Dave Carroll from Dope Marketing. It's going to be amazing. Any equipment you recommend to help with landscaping jobs with just 2 people to make it go faster and smoother and not get worn out so quick? Like recommend any equipment for mulching and stone, etc. Yeah, so if you're just getting started and you can't afford to go buy or finance a Toro Dingo, like a TX1000 or 427, go rent equipment. Find a local rental center and you can rent all the equipment you need. That's what I do in my business. Or you can go buy electric, like battery powered wheelbarrows and shit. I bought this wheelbarrow. I just posted about it on Facebook. It was $650. I thought it was going to be a joke. It's a wheelbarrow that's battery powered, almost like those hoverboard scooter things. And you pull the trigger, you charge it. And we loaded it up to the top with stone, heavy ass stone. And the thing just goes full speed around the property, uphill with mulch, up into the trailer. We can dump it. This thing has been so valuable. My business isn't where I need to go buy a $50,000 TX1000 because we do so much property maintenance. So between that and just renting all the equipment we need, fine. But if you really want to go more into landscaping, quicker you go get a Dingo or a Bobcat. What's it called? I can't think of it right now. Amazing. They're expensive. With all the attachments, you're going to automate. So it's like doing the work of 2 to 3 employees and it never calls in sick. But you have to make sure you have the work first. So go book out a bunch of work and then get the damn thing and you'll grow into it. You're getting ready to leave your job. What's C? Finlayson? Okay, cool. I follow you. Getting ready to leave your job. That's awesome, bro. Do it. Full time, bro. Steel or Echo. I use Steel. I've used Steel and Echo. The cheap Echo stuff back in the day would get really clogged up all the time, and it was a pain in the ass. And you had to constantly stay on top of the maintenance and the tune-ups to keep it running good. But they were almost like virtually indestructible. All the new Echo stuff is phenomenal. It's just like indestructible. You could just beat the hell out of it, and it just doesn't blow up. I have Steel and Echo and Husqvarna. I've got it all from all the handheld power tools. But Steel always seemed to have a little bit more power. It just, when you throttle it, we would run premium gas through all our 2-cycle equipment, and it just can go wide open with more. It seems to be more powerful than Echo, but Echo's traditionally a little bit cheaper. Yeah, but Echo's come a long way, man. So I like both, Ditch Witch, Ditch Witch is really good. We've used a lot of Ditch Witch machines. That's what we get when we do any type of topsoil or dirt or grading, is we get a Ditch Witch because it's so much heavier and it's on tracks, and we can just move a lot of material quickly with it. Grady Ray, what's up? Juan Matos, take care, bro. And Jur. Have you tried battery-operated lawnmowers? I have not yet, but I'm really excited. Chase Carter, Red Max. Yes, I've used Red Max too. I love my favorite. We call them weed whips in Michigan. They're line trimmers. My favorite line trimmer I ever had was a Red Max because it not only was it powerful, but it was lightweight, and the ergonomics of Red Max equipment is perfectly balanced. And it was just like my favorite weed whip was a Red Max. Yeah, Bobcat MT100. My boy Chris got a Bobcat for his tree business, and I was operating it, moving some logs around because we removed a monster silver maple, and I was with him on the job, and so I operated the Bobcat. Dude, that thing on the tracks, if you try to turn, like do a zero turn like a mower, that shit ain't happening. This motherfucker started jumping, and the grapple was banging back and forth, and I stopped real quick. I was like, bro, sorry. I know I get animated, I get excited, but it is a heavy duty, beautiful. It's like a Mercedes Benz, but it's a Bobcat MT100. Like, that's a dream piece of equipment. I love it. The Red Max 3060 trimmer, super light. Yes, sir. Volkswagen Planet just subbed to the channel. Thank you very much. Thank you, and you're welcome. Hygo Lawn Care. This is Cole, and what is the best way to remove weeds out of flower beds? Shovels, tillers, chemicals, etc. The best way to move weeds out of flower beds commercially, if you're doing a monster commercial property and it's like just like factories and garden beds, might be to get an applicator license and spray it with some type of herbicide. I can't give you any advice there. I don't have a herbicide license, even though I have sprayed it before a long time ago. But standard is just manual garden maintenance and charging the customer for it on a project rate or an hourly rate, which I don't know what your man hour rate, it could be 60, 70, 80 bucks an hour. I don't know what your overhead is, but we add that when we do property maintenance. I always give a customer, when I'm doing a quote, an option to also do garden bed maintenance, which includes weeding all garden beds and then edging out the beds. So depending on the thickness or density. And one tip is whenever you're quoting customers on, you're manually pulling them by hand. The real way to do gardening is you're going to have a cultivator in one hand. You cultivate and then you pull and you yank it by the root. You have a bucket next to you and you're scooting the bucket and you got knee pads and you're going and it's very therapeutic. And you're doing it manually by hand. You're pulling the weeds by hand. But whenever you quote weeds, if you're booked out like 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks, you want to quote the weeds in the garden beds and what they're going to look like in a month from now, because you'll quote some shit, be like, oh, that's 120 bucks. And then you get there and you're like, oh shit, the weeds are like this big now. So think about that, what it's going to look like. All right. Michael Granada. Can you comment on specializing in a specific area versus working multiple different fields in the landscape realm? So that's interesting. Specializing versus being a generalist and being a jack of all trades. When I started my business, I was doing everything. I was doing lawn care, landscaping, trimming shrubs, doing landscaping installs. I was ripping out stuff. I was even getting into digging out French drains, doing buried gutter downspouts, cleaning people's windows, cleaning gutters, power washing, window cleaning. I needed money so bad I was willing to do whatever. And by like the third year, I was so confused and pulling my hair out. So I went wide in the beginning just to get customers and make money. And then I narrowed back down and cut the fat and started specializing into, we still do property maintenance, landscaping, window cleaning. We've discontinued interior window cleaning. We don't only do exterior, and then it's landscaping. We got rid of any like tree removal stuff, and we do tree trimming, but we specialize in ornamental tree trimming. The reason I'm saying that is because if you do want to grow your business and scale and make more money and have employees that you can actually train to do something, you want to train them cookie cutter processes that you can get somebody in, train them within a week and get them up to speed so you can be hands off, and now they know how to do it. If you got employees that every day they're coming to work, they're having to learn how to do a different thing, they're going to be so freaking confused that you're going to kick yourself in the ass and wonder why you got a long, hard road ahead of you. So, but it takes longer to grow your business when you're specialized in just one or two things, because few customers want that. So how you can compensate in the short term is offers packaged deals and pricing. Like, dude, in the pressure washing business is super popular. Just think about this. Even in your business, if you showed up to a customer's property, giving them a quote, and all they wanted was a quote for lawn care or just trimming their bushes, and you walked around the property and you're like, okay, well, I'm also going to give them a quote on trimming their shrubs, redoing their garden beds. We're going to do a quote for 12 yards of mulch. We're going to look at the gutters need to be touched up. Okay, I see that there's black stuff all over the gutters, and on the siding, there might be some mildew or, growing. You might give them a quote for soft washing or pressure washing. You might have a concrete surface cleaner, and you work up this whole quote to do a package price. And it's like, instead of like $300, you give them a quote for $3,500 and say, if you get it all done, we'll give you $500 off and we'll do it all for $3,000. How about Monday? Some of the customers might say yes if you upsell. But if you could hear that kind of anticipation in my voice, be careful what you're getting yourself into when you're offering all these package prices. But you can increase the average ticket of each customer by increasing the average price. You increase the price, you increase the average ticket by offering them more per customer, because if they already know you, like you, and trust you, and you offer more services, the easiest. So your CAC is your customer acquisition cost. How much does it cost you to acquire a customer? A brand new customer is actually a lot. Well, it costs you nothing to sell more and do more work and more services for the existing customer you already have. They already know you and like you and trust you. Does that make sense? So you want to do more for your existing customers and then get their neighbors and develop a lead generation referral system. If you read the book Duct Tape Marketing by John Jantsch, Jonjantsch, it'll teach you all that stuff. I know that was a long-winded answer, but it's kind of like quantum. Let me get to the comments here. I see your comments. I'll get to them. If you hang out, I will answer the best of my knowledge and ability. And if I don't know something, I'll tell you I don't know that shit. There's a lot of shit I don't know. Let me go back. I'll get to your comments 1 second here. How do I secure more leads? Ruben776. Yeah, you got to get good at marketing and advertising and make it a priority. So more leads. There's something called lead sources. So sources of leads would be like I use something called Responsibid. If you want access to all my resources, go to keithkelfis.com/resources, and it'll be the list of all the softwares I use, all the resources I use in my business. You get access to all of it, including like the 16 documents I have employees sign when I hire them before I can pay them a paycheck. I'm obsessed with this shit. So Facebook is a lead source. Instagram, Google, Bing, Yahoo. There's something called authority sites and citations. If you read the book SEO Black Book and SEO for Bloggers, and I'm talking about audible.com right now, and I might be overwhelming you. It's not my goal to overwhelm you, but you can learn all this shit for free while you're out working and cutting grass and stand on the shoulders of giants and get like multiple master's degrees in every single thing. Read the books about marketing and about lead sources. Study Jay Abraham on YouTube. And you want to throw as much mud at the wall as you possibly can and see what sticks. You want to create a Facebook for your business and create a Google My Business, which is Google Maps. Get as many positive 5-star reviews. Take pictures of your work. Ask customers to do it and just plaster that shit everywhere all the time, right? Of course, you want to learn about branding and consistency and the colors and the fonts and shapes and tones and all these things in the future. But if you're in your first year or two, you would just want to go nuts and be a walking, talking salesman, have a fat stack of business cards and flyer, and everywhere you go, everybody is a potential customer, and so is the 100 people that they know. Once you generate a lot of activity in the business and you get the leads, the phone ringing, and dude, I was like, yes. I was showing up to people's houses at 9 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night with a flashlight to give them a quote, and being so helpful at an attitude of service, and then getting their name and address, obviously, in their email, and putting it into MailChimp, and then sending them emails and asking for the referrals, that the leads will start to flow automatically. There's this thing, if you want to generate more leads, work creates work. If you got a truck, go get some big-ass magnets. Get some work shirts with your phone number huge on the back and a hat everywhere you go. That way, when you're working in a neighborhood and the neighbors see it, it's called results in advance. When the neighbors can actually see you working, they go, oh, there he does, lawn care and landscaping. What's the phone number? Or they'll walk right up to you. I've gotten the most work from walk-ups. Well, actually, it's like 83% Google, brand new, because we use something called Responsibid, and we track all the lead sources and what percentage of what customers are calling. And every single time a customer calls, we ask them, and how did you hear about our services? Oh, we heard about you on Google. Oh, we found you on Facebook. Oh, Mrs. Jones referred you to us. And we mark it down in our CRM, which is Jobber. So we mark all this shit down and we can track it. And at the end of the year or each quarter, however much you decide to do it, you could say, oh my God, 83% of my leads are coming from this. Only 14% of my leads are coming from Facebook. I'm not getting any leads from this. So once you have it all in front of you, now you can let the data tell you the story of why am I wasting my time doing this? You want to double down or triple down on what's working. Some people do EDDM or direct mail or fiber rounds, which means they're actually passing out physical door hangers. Every time you do a property, you or guys in your crew will go out and flyer the local neighborhood. You go, if you only have time to do the neighboring 5 houses, fine, but constantly be marketing nonstop. And then ask where they heard about you from and mark it down. Once you find out what works, you triple down on that, so you're not putting as much time and effort and energy and money into something that's not working because you're tracking it. So how do you get leads? It's kind of like an entire plethora. Let me see here. I'm trying to get to all your questions, and I'll go a lot quicker here. Go to the state AG department you are in and get books on the regulations and learn what they are trying to get across, especially the terminology. That's very important, what she just said, April, generic. So actually learning like the real shit versus rumor, hearsay, popular opinion, and telling yourself like instead of an echo chamber in the green industry of people talking to each other, go up to the top actual sources, like the legislative source, or what is the city codes, or what is like the horticulture, the school of horticulture, or botany, or agriculture, or what do professional arborists say? when you figure that out, then it kind of like reorients you, because I have never become a professional horticulturist. I've worked around them. I've never became a certified arborist, although I'm friends with a bunch of them. So go get the legit shit and then you'll be legit. All right. So roofers, other construction people I know get a ton of work hanging around and talking to other people, wearing logos, hats, and jackets. Yeah. So if you wear your work stuff everywhere you go all the time and you always got business cards on you, you're a walking, talking salesman. PL Landscapes Ohio. What books don't he have? Yeah, I'm an information junkie. I in the last month I've read 4.5 books. I'm actually in the middle. That's physical Kindle, and I'm reading like 3 different audiobooks right now. I need to slow down. I'm obsessed with learning. What's your most expensive equipment? Probably my Exmark Radius X 48-inch riding mower. It's like 10 grand. And then aside from that, my truck is like 60 grand. My trailer is like 7 grand. And then just a bunch of hand tools and shit. Lawn Smith, so thankful for this opportunity to be part of this live and gain knowledge. Thank you. Also, your videos are helpful. Thank you very much. And I appreciate you. Noah Gamble, how do you deal with the 3.1% tax rate on Jobber? Okay, so if there is a tax rate, whether you use Jobber or Square or any of those other, dude, it's just the name of the game. Like me being able to collect payments virtually, digitally while I sleep, and just automatically when the customer pays it through a credit card online or when they sign right there on the phone is a huge convenience. You're always going to pay for convenience. So in my business, I split the credit card cost with my customer. A lot of businesses just pass that to a customer and you put it actually, earlier I talked about implied versus express. When you imply something, you think that somebody should be able to read your mind, and you know what I mean, like you're implying it, but there's something called an express. When it's expressed like legally, it's actually in the contract and you've let the customer know beforehand because it's right there on the print on the quote. If you're going to pay by a credit card, we're going to charge you an extra 2.7% or 3.1%. If you write a check, there's no extra cost. With me, I split it with a customer. So if it's 3%, it's 1.5% each, right? So I literally add it to their bill and I let them know. And then sometimes if it's a smaller bill, I don't even care. If I have $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 in credit card charges at the end of the year, I don't care, because that means that I've made $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. But if you're growing a business and you want to grow into over $1 million or multiple millions, I think your credit card fees are going to add up to tens of thousands of dollars. And you should definitely pass that to your customer, and don't be afraid. They should understand. You're currently paying for Yelp ads. How do I make it to transition to Google? I don't know. I used Yelp back in the day. I am on Yelp, and I have a profile and I have a bunch of positive reviews on Yelp, but I don't pay for any Yelp ads. How do you make the transition to Google? I don't know. I think you have to do it. You keep doing Yelp and then just carve a path. In the book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Stephen R. Covey talks about, like, when you're in the trenches and you're going in one direction and you want to carve a new path, you have to pivot. So you take your shovel. Even when you feel like you don't have time, you have to just dig one scoop here and there, just in spare time. And little by little, before you know it, a trickle will start to form. Water will flow like a trickle because you're in the river. And then if you keep digging a little bit more when you have time, the trickle will turn into a flow and the flow will turn into a flood. You have to just start. And you can get any type of books on audible.com or any advice on YouTube about how to get into Google My Business. I also have an entire online course called The Business Marketing Blueprint. It's keithkelfus.com, keithkelfus.com/BMB. And it gives you an entire rundown of how to market your business, how to get your Google My Business, Google Maps set up. And I also have an interview with Bobby Walker, a friend of mine who's got a 7-figure business. He has over 600 positive 5-star reviews on Google. It's amazing, which his phone rings off the hook. And he literally breaks down the step-by-step process of exactly the system of how to crush it on Google and get hundreds of positive 5-star reviews. If you want to learn about that, go to keithkelfus.com/BMB. I also have a free PDF download that I've created for you. It's the 7 steps to marketing your business. keithkelfus.com/7 steps, totally free resource. All right, let me answer more questions here. I'm having a blast, guys. I appreciate you. Chat. All right, what up, though? I'm going back. Eduardo Canales. Hey, Keith, I'm currently paying for Yelp. James M. Tips on hiring crew leaders and getting them out on their own fast. Okay, so if you hire a crew leader and you want to get him out on his own fast, I got out of the field last year in my business. I have had employees drive trucks. You want to have them totally legit. Okay, you want to do a DMD background check, driving record check. You want to submit their name to and their driver's license to your insurance company and make sure they're totally legit to drive. And you also want to send them for a drug test, and you want to document everything possible. And you also want to, I don't know how far I want to, I know I can go farther than this in my own business, but to me, it's all about reducing liability. Because as soon as you have somebody out driving one of your trucks, and especially pulling a trailer, you're incurring a lot of liability. That's why you want to have an LLC and limit your liability, because the opposite of that is unlimited liability. But you can post ads for free on Facebook. You can talk around to other landscapers and ask, put the word out. You can also post on Indeed.com or ZipRecruiter. There's an entire course it's called the Ultimate Employee Rockstar Toolkit by Brian Haggerty. He is an AGS Conquer coach. They coach businesses like yours and mine to explode and go into the 6 and 7 figures and automate and even sell your business. And Brian Haggerty right now, as far as I know, has the best employee hiring and training system for recruiting, training, retaining leaders, and lead techs. It's called a lead technician. So even the words lead technician, when you think of that in your mind, I need somebody who's a leader. And so you draw the line in the sand and you put that in the terminology when you're hiring somebody. I had to get to the point where I was so sick and tired of being stuck in the truck where I was looking for crew leaders, period. So when I hired a crew leader, I didn't just give him the keys to the truck and bounce. I literally drove. I worked with him a few days, and he sat in the passenger seat. And I got to know him. Obviously there was a hiring process and an entire interview process. And then I let him drive with no trailer. I was like, this dude can actually drive. I made sure he had experience driving, pulling trucks and trailers before. I would never let somebody drive and pull a truck and trailer unless they have experience. Are you crazy? And then we were driving with the trailer. I drove. And then I hopped in the passenger seat and I let him drive for a whole day. I'm like, now I want to see you back up. Because if you can't back up a truck and trailer right there on the spot, you just know if someone's full of shit or not. Bro, he backed up the truck and trailer. Perfect. That's all I needed to know. I was a little nervous, but I was like, and then I paid attention to the way he his gas and his brake and his turn signals and everything, and made sure he went and got a chauffeur's license, and I paid for all of it. And he came back with a chauffeur's license, and he was experienced. And then I went and worked with him for a couple days. I drove behind him and I paid attention to everything, and everything was on point. And if anything wasn't on point, I would have backed out immediately, because everything I do is like a trial run, because I don't like the liability. And before I know it, you got a crew running. You have to find the right people. So you can try as hard as you want to try to make the wrong person the right person. I know there's a lot of you try to make the wrong guy the right guy, and it's not going to work. But when you have the right person, the right employee, it just works. When you have the right people, it works. So hire slow and fire fast. I'm obsessed with this topic. I'm going way too long. Here, I'll tell you a quick story. One time it was raining. Well, it was about to rain, and I was going to call it off. But I was like, I don't trust the weather. I told the guys, just go to the next job site and start working, and work until it rains, right? Because what if it doesn't rain? I want them to keep producing and taking care of clients and us all making money. Well, I never got a response from the crew leader, and the other guy left and went home. He thought that we were just off work because it was going to rain. It was just a misunderstanding. Maybe I didn't communicate it clearly. And then my crew leader disappeared. Like an hour went by. I never heard from him. I called my other employee and I was like, bro, where is the crew leader? He's like, I don't know. I'm off work. You haven't heard from him? I'm like, no, it's been 45 minutes. I'm like, where could he be? I instantly went into a panic attack. Like, you would get over this shit after being in the business for a while. This was a while ago. I went into a panic attack and I started driving up and down the main city roads where I live, like where the job site was, terrified, thinking that there must have been a car accident. Like it literally gripped me like a possession, and I was sick to my stomach driving around. And I was calling him, and I was like, I went into a reactive state. And so I was like, oh my God, I'll just call the next customer of the next job site that's on their calendar. And just for the heck of it, I call up the customer, the next customer, rain clouds are coming in. I go, hey, Mr. Jones. He goes, hey, what's up, Kelfus? Your guy's here. He's working outside by himself. I thought you were going to have a whole crew. Or he's like, but he's doing great. I was like, all right, that's cool, Mr. Jones. And I was like, I just got off the phone with him. I was like, shit, I just wasted all that time and energy being scared shitless thinking something was going wrong. But I'm just warning you, like, I don't know what your tolerance to risk is or how you are, but that's what happened to me. And I felt like I really had to go through that to get over that, to just let the fuck go and stop being a control freak. I've called my insurance company multiple times and bugged the hell out of them. What happens if this? What if a guy gets in a car accident? What if this? 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 And they're like, that's why you're insured. I read every single page of my 80-page insurance policy. I'm going through every line, bro, because I don't want liability. But unfortunately, business is a risk. And so, but yeah, that's a long story. All right. Let me get to more here. I want to get right back to where I was. I'm here. I'm scrolling through the comments. I'm almost there. How many services do you offer? That's where I was. Oh, wait. Yeah.
Jill's office provides friendly, professional receptionists for small business owners just like you. We can help answer your calls, and we can even schedule estimates and jobs for you. Try Jill's office today and get a $25 discount when you say Untrapped. Just go to jillsoffice.com.
Lynn Samuel. Well, we do landscaping, window cleaning, property maintenance. And so we do some power washing. We have a concrete cleaner now. We clean up gutters, downspouts, buried gutter downspouts, power wash patios. If the money is right, there's certain services that I will do, but I don't market and advertise them a lot. But we'll do them for some of our favorite customers if the money's right. The Jordan C. Harper Show. When are you starting for the season again, officially? And what do you think about mowing and landscaping? I was out today, just a few hours ago, doing landscaping quotes. My phone, the business line is already ringing right now, and we've still got snow on the ground in Michigan. Our official start date is the first week of April. Last year, we weren't able to start until the second or third week of April because it snowed in April. Then it was freezing rain. And we were out there literally third week of April in freezing sleet and rain trying to get jobs done. It was really frustrating. But hopefully the year starts out earlier. But so as soon as the sun is shining, we're out there. And lawn care versus landscaping, is that what you said? If you can build route density in lawn care and get the prices that you need, and you have lawn after lawn after lawn after lawn after lawn, it's going to take a lot of time and energy and investment to build up a solid route like that. So I would recommend getting a blend of lawn care and landscaping. I had Mac Lawn Care on here and landscaping on here yesterday. He does a full 360 service package. Literally, he does the customer's landscaping, shrub trimming, does the mulch, the garden bed maintenance, and the snow. He does everything. So you can build up a clientele fast. You can build up and fill up your schedule fast if you just offer a lot more services. But like I said, it can bite you. You want to stay strict. You want to have a service area, like a target radius. When I say lawn care versus landscaping, that's kind of a loaded question. It's a double bind, because if you're driving 20 or 30 minutes to cut someone's lawn for $40, you're not making any money. If you're driving 20, 30, 40 minutes to do somebody's $5,000 or $10,000 landscaping job, it's worth it. You're making money. There's people literally go and do $50,000 jobs, and they'll sleep in a hotel room to go finish that job before they come back. There's people that do $1 million jobs. So you have to find out the law of diminishing returns on a gradient, and where does the scale tip so it's the most healthy and profitable for your business. Now, sometimes you're going to do inconvenient things when you're getting your business off the ground. Like I said, throwing the mud at the wall to see what sticks. You're going to do a lot of inconvenient shit and drive all over the place and say yes to everything to generate as much activity in the business as possible. But then once you really get it going, then you can kind of cut the fat and narrow back down and be more choosy. You got to get in where you fit in. That's my favorite saying, getting where you fit in. Let me get back to the chat here. I will get to your questions, and I'll say your name. PL Landscapes Ohio, backing a trailer. Chris Titus. What's up, bro? I remember you. Hygo Lawn Care includes sales tax on all materials because you'll pay sales tax when you pay for materials. Excuse me. Then includes sales tax on the whole job because you pay sales tax on net sales. Yeah, if you're in a state that pays sales tax, you want to look that up immediately and make sure you charge sales tax on everything and you're paying that shit with your taxes. Because if you get hit with back sales tax, it'll be very expensive. So find that out and make sure no matter what you pay the taxes. This is non-negotiable. Jonathan Wagler, how do you keep employees busy in the wintertime when we don't get enough snow to keep them busy? You can put them on unemployment and officially lay them off. They file for unemployment and they can collect unemployment. Or they just go get other jobs, or they don't collect unemployment at all and they have winter jobs. If it's just you and you have one person that works for you, you have a way you can keep them busy all winter and keep them on payroll or pay them. Fortunately for me, I've had employees literally just quit and bounce and go do other things. And then it's hard to get them back the next year, or I have to get new people the next year is what I mean. Or they would just claim unemployment. So that is a really sticky, tough thing being in the landscape business. It's a constant revolving door. I don't know how to get them to stick. I just don't know. I've had all the same problems or challenges as anyone else here. So I don't do interior windows anymore. Around the time of COVID, when everything was like locked down, and we stopped doing interior window cleaning for like 3 to 6 months. And then I pushed it back for the entire year. And then I was like, I hate doing interior window cleaning. And my landscape guys, stomping around in work boots, being used to doing landscaping, which is like rough work and slamming things around. When you go inside of someone's house, window cleaning is an entirely different animal. You have to be very poised, very, consciously aware of your physical space and your elbows. And like, you don't want to knock over someone's vase or put a scratch on a wall or get dirt on their floor. This level of articulation is something that requires hiring a unicorn. You have to hire unicorns if you're going inside of people's houses. It was so stressful, the window cleaning business for me, that I got out of interior window cleaning, and I might be getting out of window cleaning altogether, but I'll be announcing that soon if I'm selling the business or not, that side of the business. But back to the question. Great questions. I love these questions. Super excited. This is fun. We're learning from each other. Bryson Turner, do you allow people to post their landscaping channel? Sure. Get the URL for your landscaping channel and post it. Please don't post spam in the comments, but sure. Yeah, I support you. Joshua Den Hire. Hey, Keith, what's up? Long time. How you doing, bro? What's up, bro? What up, though? Fabian Galvin. You're from Texas. Your season started in February. Nice. Silver Ice. Houston. What's up? Fabian, Lawnscapes of America. You said rent equipment. Do you see yourself renting one particular tool more often than others? Yeah. I'm always renting is it the SK750? I think that's it, the Ditch Witch. I love that machine. And I've broken down the math too. If the Ditch Witch costs, why were they like 40 grand now for the cheapest one? Somewhere like 60 grand versus what I've rented. I actually broke down all the math. And I have saved so much money by renting it from an equipment center who does all the maintenance and insures it and stores it and takes care of it. And all I do is pick it up on jobs when I need it. And I rent it for $250 a day. If you go to the bigger rental centers, you'll be like $350 a day. So we time it so I only have it for the hours that I need it. And if I can get it in and out in a day, literally I just paid, like $300 to rent this $60,000 machine, and then I don't need it again for like 2 or 3 more weeks. So it makes me money so that's the future is I believe is outsourcing your business. Like I have 3 employees in the landscaping business aside from like a bookkeeper and accountant, and then like virtual receptionist, Jill's office to answer the phone calls and overflow phone calls. And then I have 15 virtual assistants in my media business. And I've learned with having, at one point I had 28 people helping me. Everything is outsourced. And my job is just to close deals and make shit work. So when you talk about renting equipment, it triggers in my mind, trying to do everything yourself and having everything in-house. The cost benefit of that versus something 10, 15, 20 years ago, your only choice was to have it all in-house. Now think about how many things you can dematerialize in your business. Dematerialize, which means get it off your plate and have someone else help you or rent it or outsource it. We're talking about a lean and mean, profitable small business that you can run, and you could do 150, 200 grand a year and take home a fat paycheck with distributions and control your own schedule and be your own boss. Sales tax. I'm trying here. 1 second. Desmond and Tencio. I've been your motivation from day one. 9 years later. Bro, thank you so much. And you know the old videos I used to make, the crazy ones. Thank you so very much. I appreciate you more than you know. I'd like to meet you in person and shake your hand. The Boring Channel. What's up, bro? Michael, start going to nurseries frequently and look at the plants and learn what the top trees and shrubs and ground cover and flowers and grass types are growing in your area. That's what I did. Very genius. So the Boring Channel, he just said something very interesting. In your lawn and landscaping business, there's times you're going to have to go to the nursery to find flowers or plants, or a customer wants you to replace a bush. As you're walking around, get your phone out and take pictures of like the plants and all the different, all the shrubs and all the trees and everything, and learn the different names of shrubs. Like, oh, that's an arborvitae, that's a forsythia, that's an ivory halo dogwood shrub, right? Oh, what's that right there? That's a rose of Sharon. Oh my God, there's different species. I didn't know. Oh, that's a green giant arborvitae. That's a Techni arborvitae. Oh my God, right there. That's a cypress. What's the difference between a cypress and an arborvitae? Oh, now I know. Like, and you look and you learn. That way you got to know just enough to be dangerous. So when you're walking and talking with your clients, and now you start to learn what the plants and shrubs are in their garden beds, you're a little more educated and you can serve them at a higher level, which means that you can sell them a great service and make more money. See, Finlayson, any advice on learning how to price in Canada? I don't know, because I'm in Michigan. Cheveo Isaker, you said, you gave me $3 on Super Chat. Ha, thank you. I appreciate it. Eduardo Canales, thank you. You're welcome. Brunner Lawn and Landscape LLC, just now tuning in. What's up, bro? Hope you're doing very well. Joe K. Chris Titus, Jonathan. Okay, I'm just kind of scrolling through the comments here. Anybody new that I haven't gotten to? I see all your comments and I appreciate you. This is awesome, man. This YouTube shit did not exist like this 10 years ago. I'm so thankful for this. Mac Millie, you thought I was on fast forward like 3X? So check this out. I'm so hyper and so ADD. And every night I sit at the dinner table with my wife and we eat dinner. We've been together 13 years. We just had our 10-year wedding anniversary. Bro, I sit down at the table and I grab and I start eating like a psycho, and my fork is hitting my teeth, and she just looks at me, and I've had to train and condition myself. Relax, chill out, bro. It's okay. You know why? Because of 20-year landscaping, working for other people, having 13 minutes to eat my lunch, or I don't even get to eat. I had this asshole landscaper boss. I won't say his name. He's a nice guy, but he was an asshole at the same time. He had this invention. He said he wanted to invent some contraption that goes around our heads so we could literally eat while we're working and cutting the lawn. What kind of bastard thing is that, bro? So I was so broke. I lost my driver's license, early 20s, because I got too many speeding tickets. And I got speeding tickets because I worked for another job where I was working 3 jobs and I was running late all the time, and I was speeding. I got just a bunch of speeding tickets, and I lost my driver's license. I was riding a bike 10 miles to work, to go cut grass all day and ride a bike 10 miles home, exhausted. And man, those were really, really hard times. I muscled through that shit. Bill Hall, what's up, bro? Luz Ramirez. What's up, man? Thanks for the videos. San Antonio, you're very welcome. Appreciate you. Castile Enterprise. Yo! What up, Bill? Pierce. When is Equipment Expo? It's probably October 18th. Homescapes Peter. You outsource other businesses, Bobcat operators and turf layers. You can't do it all yourself. Yes. Jimmy Lazama. What is the key to growing in your second year of business? I've survived my first year and made nearly 40K. June to November. Yeah, dog. So in your second year, you want to retain all of those customers. You want to literally get on the phone with all of them, call them, text them, email them, retain them, sell them more stuff, get a hold of them immediately, and then sell all their neighbors and become a walking, talking marketing maniac I wrote a book called How to Start a Landscape Business Right Now with No Startup Money. And I had this whole section on marketing. You can on audible.com. And I talk about going nuts at marketing and creating local marketing citations on every single website that will allow you, and then create a blog. So you can be literally like, I would be in the drive-through in the morning getting a coffee or something on the way to a landscape job, running on no sleep. And in the drive, not while I'm driving, but in the drive-through, I would literally be typing, like 1,000-word blog post article for my business. So I would hit local search engine optimization in the Google SERPs, which is search engine ranking page, to push myself up over time with enough positive reviews and enough citations and linking to authority sites, which is like, you learn all about this from R.L. Adams' book, SEO Black Books, talks about white hat and black hat techniques. And I was a walking, talking marketing maniac. And my business cards, if I was getting gas at the gas station, I would slide the business card like somewhere on the gas pump that I could. If I was eating at Jimmy John's, getting a sandwich, I would be going to the corkboard and putting my business cards, like sticking them on the corkboard by the bathroom. If I went to a restaurant to eat, there's a window by the restaurant, and I would put my flyers and my business cards everywhere I went constantly. So if you are a marketing and advertising maniac, you're going to do fine. In your second year, you're going to crush it. Your business is going to grow. It's probably going to double. And you're going to do double the money. And you're going to be a maniac, and you're going to love it. It's going to be great. And now that you know what to expect, because you've already been through your first year, your second year is going to be great. The one thing I want to warn you, though, anybody just getting started, the stress that you can go through first, second, third year, it feels like a constant uphill battle, because if you're not making the money and profit margins you need to make yet, and you're just taking the jobs that you can get to stay busy, and you first of all, you have to acquire all of this equipment. Just something as small as a $350 line trimmer, that's $350. A $500 backpack blower, a truck can be anywhere from $5 on the low end up to $55,000. That's expensive. That's a payment. Or can you cash that out? You're going to need a trailer, whether it's an open face or an enclosed trailer. They're not cheap. If you get them used, $3, $4, $5 all the way up to $18,000, $20,000 for a trailer. So like the first 3 to 5 years can literally be spent. Like I see a lot of shit on the YouTube. These guys say, yeah, I just got started. I made $500,000 my first year, dog. Maybe they did. I don't know how they did that, but I know for me it wasn't that easy, because you're living your life and paying all your bills, and you got all your personal and family problems and all that bullshit that costs you money. Plus you're growing this business and reinvesting to it. You got to work 40 hours a week to pay the bills, another 40 hours a week to clean up all the mistakes you're making, because you know what the fuck you're doing, and then another 40 hours a week extra to make money, to put money into this thing. It's like a bucket with a bunch of holes in it that's just draining, and if it drains dry, you're dead. So I remember driving 10 o'clock at night. My wife calls me. Dinner, she's amazing. She made dinner, and it's cold in the fridge, wrapped in saran wrap. She goes, when are you coming home? You haven't been home in like 2 weeks. Of course I came home, but I don't come home until it's like pitch black dark outside. I can't work 7 days a week to get this business off the ground. And I can't believe the way I spoke to my wife. I was in total fear. I'm in this old piece of shit Blue Goose truck, 230,000 miles on it, afraid it's going to break down. I said, do you not understand? If this fucking truck breaks down, we're screwed. We're screwed. We'll get evicted. We will lose everything. I have to make more money. And I would go into this whole reactive asshole thing, where I have to make more money to pay for this truck, to put money in the bank in case the truck breaks down, because I got to put it. She was like, okay. And I was like that, like a nutcase. And then it's like, then you're going to have taxes. And then they're like, well, you don't have workers' comp, and you don't have payroll, and you don't have this, and you don't have this. What are you doing? What are you doing? Bro, I was so stressed out. I just put war paint on my face every single day and just went to work. And I destroyed everything in my personal life except for my marriage, including my health, and I got no sleep. And that's what it took for me, a guy with low self-esteem who grew up thinking he was a piece of shit. That's what the fuck it took for me to get a business off the ground. So I go on fucking YouTube and I see these guys talk about, I made fucking $800,000 in my first year. Like that shit pissed me off. It made me go look in the mirror and want to punch myself and feel like I was stupid. Or were they lying? Or if I found out they actually were telling the truth and they made that much money, I felt so fucking insecure that I could not watch those YouTube videos of these other people, because I wasn't that smart. The shit was really fucking hard to get the shit off the ground. So I just felt like I needed to say that. I'm sick of these people posturing, preening bullshitters on the internet who act like they don't like make mistakes. Like they don't have personal or family problems. Okay, let me see. What's up from I Got Yards? Lawn Smiths, I see you, Lawnscapes of America, Homescapes, Peter. I'll get you 1 second. More comments. Bill Hull, what's up? James Kinley, Fabian, Travis Doherty. Wait, will you say hi to Talon? Talon? What's up, Talon? Carter Services, what up, Dow? Yeah. Read the book your first year in the landscape business. If you do, go on audible.com and get this book. If you are in your first year or two, or you're just getting started, your first year in the landscaping business is a book that I wrote, and you can listen to it on audible.com. It's like $10 or something. I'm telling you, gotta listen to this book. It will shorten your learning curve. Why haven't I gotten into power washing heavier? Because I'm so busy doing landscaping that it's a whole nother service. We just did a power washing job for $1,000. I'll be putting on a video soon. We did too. We did concrete cleaning and a power washing, and the profit margins are higher, and I'm thinking about getting into it, but I want to make sure I take the time to go get professionally trained so I'm not getting water into people's houses or destroying people's siding, and making sure I understand the chemicals and all the legislature and doing it the right way. I don't want to just half-ass it. So, and I never got around to it because I'm running a media business and a landscape business, but dude, power washing is the shit. Crushing it now. What's up, Joe K? What's up, Joey Hammer Sticks? Ha, that's a great name. Your live is lit, bro. Energy is amazing. Yeah, dog. For any of you that happen to be just joining, Brian left a long time ago, but you busted the Jordan C. Harper show. You busted over 100K your first year because of you, Keith. But I need more. It's not enough. Blah. That, yes, absolutely. Here, I want to, I'll say this, and I'm going to jump off. I feel like I've gotten to a lot of comments. 10:30 at night. Listen to what I'm saying. There's going to be a point in your business where you're going to plateau and you're going to hit what we call cash flow purgatory. It's where you can't work any harder. You can't work any more hours unless you destroy your family life, and your back's against the wall. And if something doesn't change, you'll go into depression and burnout. Look at this. I have gray hairs. This is from depression, burnout, and going to a lot of funerals of people that I love and working myself to fucking death. It just happens. So you have to go get, when I say professional help, I'm not talking, well, you can go get like a therapist or something like that. That's awesome. But what I mean is, if because the personal shit is what's stopping you from growing your business. The personal things and all of your unworthiness is stopping you from growing your business on the outside. But I'm talking about going and getting a professional business coach. In our industry now, you're only going to get so much free information on YouTube. At some point, you have to open up your wallet and pay for personal one-on-one time or group coaching for people who have gone before you, who have multiple 6- and 7-figure businesses that have systems, structure, policies. They run their business like a well-oiled machine. They've been through hell. They've been through the minefield, and they've gotten coaching, and they've made it through, and they can shorten your learning curve. You got to learn to fly off your gauges and not your emotions. At some point, you have to trust and start tracking everything and using data, and start systematizing your business. I showed this a little while ago. I'm putting together an operating manual for my business with all these tabs on it. And I'm working on this for both of my businesses, 2 operating manuals. And so I can rely on this to tell me what needs to be done. We have a huge software CRM. In the landscaping business, we use something called Jobber. You can get a free trial of it. Go to getjobber.com/Keith. Get a totally free trial at Jobber. If you sign up with my link, you'll get my exclusive discount. Actually, I'm not trying to pitch it, but I know I'm talking about, you know what Jobber is. You probably hear me talk about it. I literally couldn't imagine running my business without it. Okay. Getjobber.com/Keith. Go there and get a free trial and sign up this year, and you'll see how it helps your business. And it makes you appear very professional to your customers. But in my media business, I use a software CRM called Monday.com. I was so stressed out running 2 businesses that I had all this shit in my head. Look at this here. Look at this. And I'm writing sticky notes and boards all over the place of what we're doing on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, and YouTube and product development and virtual assistants, and trying to manage 20 different people, and what needs to be done in design and brand deals and sponsorships, podcasts, Monday through Sunday, the repetitive systematized things that we do, and then taking notes, I was having a meltdown. So I got on Monday.com and I hired a consultant for $150 an hour. And I started getting professional coaching and consulting from people that changed my life. And I was able to triple my business revenue over the past, 3 years, 2 years, 3 years. Yeah. So I was stuck on a plateau. I was, let's say I was stuck at 100 grand, then I got to 150. Then I was stuck at 150, and I finally got to 200, 225,000. And I finally hit 250, 275. Then I hit 300,000 in my business. Then I hit stuck there. Then I had to get more coaching, like literally paying for coaching for people who knew what the hell they're doing. Then I hit 350, $375,000, or 373,000. And I would have not been able to do that because I'm talking to people who are making millions of dollars. Like, I feel embarrassed. I should be making millions of dollars. I think when you get to that point, you're like, bro, I don't have all the answers. I got to get around people that know the answers. Now, who can you get around? Well, there's a lot of different. I'm part of my friend Joshua Latimer's group called War Plan Insiders. It's $5,000 to get into this group. I was pacing around for a week. I was like, I don't want to pay all this money, but I'm stuck. I don't want to pay all this money. And I got to this point, I'm like, if I don't do this, I'm going to be fucking stuck, bro. So I paid Joshua Latimer all this money, and I joined War Plan Insiders. And now I'm around all these like 6 and 7 figure businesses on these private weekly chats. They got a live event happening, and I might have to fly to Texas real quick. But I've forked over tens of thousands of dollars for online courses and personal coaching and consulting and education just to get to where I'm at. And none of the shit, I'm sorry, only a fraction of the shit was free on YouTube and on Instagram. So this is the new model. You have to pay for the high quality information. All the guys on YouTube and all these gurus and all this shit, they're going to tell you a bunch of general information for free on YouTube, and they're going to conceal all the really good stuff. You're going to have to pay for it. And the good news, some of it, the best stuff is cheap. Like you can get a Kindle. Here's another tip I learned. I wouldn't say I wasted a lot of time, but I spent a lot of time reading way too many books about like the law of attraction and like the vibrational frequencies of this, and that. Really, because actually I didn't waste that time at all, because I'm obsessed with the 7 different levels of truth and spirituality and how to be a servant to God and to Christ, and how to take this sacred covenant and be a steward of a good steward. Like, I'm obsessed with that because it's a top-down model. It controls your behavior and how you live your life and how you live until you die and where you go after you die and all that stuff. That's my beliefs. But as far as like for the content, like I'm talking about on this channel, if you want to make more money, dial in hyper specifically. If you need to learn about the numbers in your business and accounting, get a book on accounting and bookkeeping, or buy an online course about how to run your numbers. Hire a bookkeeper. My bookkeeping agency, that I hire is called Blue Skies Services. The owner is the CFO, Chief Financial Officer. His name is Dan Plata. Man, this dude changed my life. I was so frustrated financially because there were so many questions and fears I had about finances. Like, what if this? What if this? What if this? What if this? How do I pay myself? What is the difference between a payroll and a distribution? What percentage should I pay myself on payroll each week as a W-2 employee? Like, we're doing our taxes. Corporate taxes are already due, but personal taxes. Here's the W-2s for both my businesses. I already given my employees their W-2s, and I'm a legit employee for my businesses. So I have myself on payroll, so we pay actual payroll taxes, but I also take distributions. And I didn't know what percentage was the right. I didn't have a profit and loss statement and a balance sheet, and I was scared and I felt stupid. Man, I paid Dan thousands of dollars. His name is Dan Plata, and he sat on Zoom calls with me for hours. We crunched all the numbers and math in my landscaping business and in my media business. We went back like 2 years and we got all the data. And it was, dude, it took I think a month or two when he finally got everything dialed in, every T crossed and every I dotted, and answered hundreds of questions that I had about finances, changed my life. He gave me my first P&L statement, a perfectly designed grid structure on QuickBooks, because we have QuickBooks. We have 2 QuickBooks accounts, one for each business, of exactly every penny coming in the business, dollar for dollar, penny for penny, hour for hour, day by day, week for week, month for month, to the year, the COGS, which is cost of goods sold, right? What is my administrative costs? What is this for employees and labor and overhead and taxes and insurance and miscellaneous? And then we created more and more and more categories, and to the point where I went out and I got 10 different credit cards. I got business credit cards, personal credit cards, like Lowe's credit card. I got Amazon credit card. And so when I'm like on Amazon or online or buying anything anywhere I go, I got all my credit cards because I have a revolving line of credit. I use a different credit card for every different type of categorized purchase, because if I don't, my bookkeeper messages me on Voxer and he's like, hey, yo, I see this charge for $72. What's this for? I'm like, let me go look. Oh, that's for the media business. I bought this new Dope Rode microphone. Yeah, so it's a write-off. Oh, I bought a brand new badass Husqvarna chainsaw for the landscaping business with the landscaping business credit card. We put that in the proper category and it's a write-off. But so right now I got to do a spreadsheet, and I made a mistake. Like, I'm so financially organized. I can't believe I made this mistake. I got the Amazon credit card, dog, because you can get all these rewards on Amazon. It's a good thing to do. But like, I accidentally was making business purchases on Amazon. I'm like, well, screw it. I'll just order shit on Amazon. And I was making personal purchases on Amazon. So it's not even a big deal at all. I just have to go through and create a spreadsheet and show them the difference between personal and business so we can separate it. And then I can give that to my accountant when we do the taxes. And then we just know, so everything is super hyper organized. I was paying my accountant I think I had to pay my accountant like an extra $1,600. The CPA firm that I hire, they're also they consult me and help me, because I literally brought them 2 big manila, like the joke about I just bring my accountant a big shoebox full of receipts. Bleh. Dude, that's like 1970s, 80s type shit. Like, you should not be fucking bringing your accountant a big shoebox full. You know how like I guess I'm not trying to be mean, but I'm learning. I feel like that would be immature and unprofessional to do that, and rude. Your accountant has probably 150 clients to take care of. And because you didn't do your due diligence and you're not organized, you just, here's all my shit last minute. Now hurry up and help me. I'm scared. Like, that doesn't work. You have to bring your accountant hyper organized, like a folder with everything, get everything highlighted and ready. Print out like list spreadsheets. I put everything on a specific Google Drive folder. Every time I pay quarterly taxes to the state and to the Fed like federal and state taxes every quarter, plus payroll taxes, plus year-end taxes. I got that shit organized. I'm taking pictures. I'm documenting it. I put everything on spreadsheets. I upload it to Google Drive on a private folder. And now at the end of the year, I got all the taxes organized for business and personal. And then also my wife has her own business, so we get a spreadsheet and make a profit and loss statement for her. So we got 2 different corporate returns and then a personal joint return. And I sit down with the accountant, and my accountant literally goes, dude, I love you. You're awesome. You're doing it right. You have your shit together. And for me, growing up so poor, I'm 39. I've lived in, I think it's my 32nd or 33rd home I've lived in, including sleeping on couches and living in basements. I've been homeless. I've slept in my car when I was a kid. We lived in 2 different homeless shelters a couple times. I had a beautiful childhood, but we were fucking broke. And I had such a poor, broke mindset. And I hated myself. And now to be this financially organized to where my accountant is like, you're awesome. You're doing it the right way. And I feel like it feels so good and amazing to be able to go. My wife and I went and got a carry out tonight. I'm like, what do you want to eat? She's like, Cooper's Hawk. It's I don't know what it was, $77. I'm very frugal and I don't blow money all the time. But we're really burned out. We're remodeling our basement and stuff and didn't have time to cook dinner. So we're like, whatever, let's just go there. And we got this really, really, really good food. And I just swipe the card and I don't worry about it like I used to. I remember a time when I was first getting married to my wife. We went out to eat with a couple of her friends and I was broke getting my business off the ground. And her friends wanted to go to a steakhouse. Dude, we were this close to an eviction notice, and I was trying to get a landscape business off the ground. I was sunburned. I was scared. We're sitting down, and everybody's ordering steak. And I was so freaked out. I'm like, excuse me. I got up, and my wife was everything to me. All I wanted to do was impress her and make her happy, and I didn't want her to know how scared I was. I went in the bathroom of this restaurant, of this expensive steakhouse, and I hit the stall. I go, and I just went nuts. And I was enraged because I felt like such a worthless piece of shit, because felt like I was blowing money that I literally needed for rent on a stupid ass fancy restaurant because I felt like a loser. And the pain of being that broke drove me to be a complete asshole workaholic who's totally insecure and cut off my family and my relationships and everything to get a business off the ground because I couldn't stand that pain. So everything has a price, right? You want to be that fucking guy who's got a multi-million-dollar business and 60 employees and you want a big ass house and a vacation house? You will have it, and you will pay the price for it. You will pay the price for it. Everything has a price. Be careful what you wish for. You just might get it. Yeah, dog. Brunner Lawn and Landscape LLC, bro. I'm going through everything you're talking about right now. I think my phone is about to die. It's our first year officially as a business. Was just a guy in a truck doing odd jobs the last couple of years. Yeah, dog. Congratulations. You got this. Don't compare your company to others. It affects you in a negative way. 100%. Reach out and ask for mentorship from the right people. Forever Self-Employed has good content on power washing. Mike Lowe. Mike Lowe. Yes, that's a great channel. Jimmy Lazama. You just put in an order for 100 yard signs. Yes. Actually, you can get a deal through yard signs off my website called UC Marketing. Go to keithkelfis.com/resources. You get a big a discount on yard signs. Silver Ice sent me $5. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. What's your best tip to buy a used truck? Used prices are insane in the moment. I would say go find somebody who knows a lot about mechanics and is very experienced with trucks and have them come with you so they can look at the truck, feel it out and all the tie rod ends and like check the fluids and make sure the miles haven't been rolled back and test drive it if you don't have that type of experience. Because you're at the end of the day, you're going to have to take a risk and hope it works out. I've bought a lot of used trucks and I've been really, really scared and I've had them blow up on me and I've had some work out. It's just a risk. Fabian, Travis Doherty. All right, I'm going to go here. My phone's about to die. I will be live again soon. Give me a day or two. I have more people on the channel, on the live. I really appreciate you. Also, check out the Untrapped podcast on Apple, Stitcher, Spotify. You can also get to it from keithkelfis.com. We just hit 600,000 downloads. And then one more thing. We got like 13 million views last month online. And I always wanted to know what it was like to get millions of views on the internet. It's just a lot more than just this YouTube channel. It's all over the place. And actually, it was a complete, like not complete, but 90% of it was a waste. When you get millions of views online, there's all these people watching your videos that don't even care about your content. They're just like looking at it, and some people are like trolling and talking shit, and they don't understand. Like, I think if you want to start a YouTube channel, it's just popped in my mind. Do it from the bottom of your heart and serve people that you actually care about and make content that resonates with a very specific type of person. For me, I like to scratch my own itch and talk to, like, make the videos that I wish I would have heard when I was a little bit younger and didn't have access to all this, right? All right. You guys are awesome. I'll see you very soon.
Hey, I hope you liked the show. And if you like the Untrapped podcast and you get value from it, can you please take a minute and go over to Spotify and leave it a well-worded positive 5-star review? It helps boost the rankings on Spotify so the show can get to more people. Therefore, these messages can get out to more people and inspire more people so they can go out and start their small businesses and crush it and get to the next level. It's a huge deal. All right, I'll see you in the next show.